Hello, everybody. I am Brenda Jean Power, and this is Medicine Woman Solution. And the stories that Spirit has me learn and see and to grow is important. So, we're going to give a few minutes for people to get into the room. And hello, all you lovelies. I'm going to get myself on this page so I can get in alignment with you. Now, at this point, you've been with me. Some of you have been with me. Hello, Melissa. Hello, Nancy. Robin. Hello, Angela. You've been with me at this point, and you've been learning many things. So let me ask you, can your cells protect and grow at the same time? Now understand, this is a cell because you can do both. You can grow and protect yourself. You've seen me help you work with energies to protect yourself, and you can grow. And then you have this state where you have to understand at the inside the cells, because you can see that my cells are nicely covered in brown and turquoise today, but the cells itself. Dr. Bruce Lipton has, teaches a lot of really good information. And one of the things that he talks about is the cell itself, the one that protects you and all this and that. You want it to grow. The cell wants to grow. If you want to grow, it can't take in that information if it's closed and trying to protect itself on a cellular level, just so you understand. And this is what happens with stress. This is what happens with you. If your mind is that you have to protect yourself because you constantly are seeing an enemy, the body is going to believe you. Just take that for a second. The body is going to believe you. So the body will then turn around and go, oh my God, we have a threat. And so it then sends the signals for the fight, flight, freeze. And then it goes into doing its best to protect itself. And whoops. Oh, TikTok. So sorry. Okay. To protect itself. But what does that mean? It can't grow. It can't take in nutrients. It can't take in vital energy. It can't take in what is necessary for it to be healthy. Ooh, we already got some Stars Wars stuff issues. No, I'm just kidding. Stars. And we're having this wonderful game that we're playing. They call it a Stars Party. That's what it's called. So thank you, Amy, Autumn, and Angela for the stars. Your name goes into a drawing. Okay. So your cells. The cells are important. They are a great representation of you. They are your cells. That's what puts you together. If your cells, a bunch of cells die every day, but a bunch of cells are new every day. And here's the problem, though, is if the bunch of cells that are there running your programs and taking care of you, and the cell divides, it creates a sister cell or what they call a daughter cell. And if it has that program of you going, oh my God, there's an enemy. Oh my God, there's an enemy. Oh my God. Oh my God. Oh my God. I have to worry every day, which are programs, which you can learn how to unlearn them. But the cell then has the new information that says, oh my God, oh my God, oh my God. So when nutrients wants to come in this sister cell, it can't because there's no room. All the neurochemical peptides, oh my God, oh my God, oh my God, are in this cell. It can take in certain nutrients, but but can it do its job of releasing toxins? Can it take in nutrients? Can it function? Can it do these things? No, because the neuropeptides, the receptors on the cells have changed. But you can change that back. You just have to reprogram yourself. So these cells are what's important here because we have the four ingredients to life: physical, mental, emotional, and spiritual. And I've been here helping you do my best to do all four, but mainly Spiritism is helping us speak about the physical is the last thing that we end up taking care of because we've been working on the mental. working on the emotional, working on getting you connected to your spirit with your authentic self. And then that affects your physical. Now you could go straight and I could say, hey, every day we're going to talk about exercise. Every day we're going to talk about nutrients, but it doesn't take care of the cell to the point that you can start having this miraculous recovery. Why? There's so many things I could be adding in this conversation. So don't go, oh, flaw. That's not what we're saying. Ooh, look at the stars. Keep going, Robin, Nita. Thank you. It's hard to teach everything, so you have to take in bits. The cell, if you're sitting there worrying and fearful, you've programmed yourself to sit there and say, wait a minute, if it's in fear, the cell will go, oh, I have to close off. I can't really take in nutrients. I have to protect myself. So that means the cells, and Bruce Lipton talks a lot about it, and the cells, if you put a cell in a Petri dish with nutrients, the positive will come together and really help and grow and beautiful. Where the cell that has the toxins, the cell moves away from it and it closes off, and negative doesn't help. It's like, oh God. So when you're stressed, your cells are going, that's we're out of alignment. So I'll tell you, people, stop. You're out of alignment. This is what you tell with when you work with your loved ones, and you go and you heal. And you have to heal the fact that you have a fear that you have to be protected from, or that your body is doing a tuning fork and it has to do, and it's like, oh my God, I have to vibrate and be in fear. Now, these are old programs that you need to address. That's what I'm saying. So in the cell, if you allowed yourself to understand that this cell needs you to reprogram it so that it can, when it decides to divide again, it can go back into a positive thing or whatever, or dies off. But new cells, the old programming doesn't have to fit. Now, again, they're not really telling it the way they want to, so that it feels like there's a bunch of holes. But they want to express, and hopefully you've already understood that the cell can't take in, if it's trying to protect itself, it says enemy, enemy, enemy. You're out of alignment. I need to protect myself. And even if there's nutrients, it can't go and feel safe enough to feed itself. So just think that just for a moment. What is spirit telling you? Your body needs you to get out of stress. Your body needs you to change how you perceive the world. Now, if there's a lot of programs that go, oh my God, I can't stand being around this person, and you're not aware that what you're saying, then you're not really in charge of running this avatar. Your program is running. You need to choose how your programs inside of you are running. I've been asking spirit about the physical aspect of myself, and my spirit has been, helping me in many different areas. And then I got to realizing that my body is programmed. It divided itself and is programmed and says that my environment is threatening. Now, I moved out of that. I have a home that there is no threat. I'm in a beautiful place with a beautiful man as my mate, and my property, my birds, it's all beautiful. The town is beautiful. But my body says that it still feels like it has to run. And that's a program. So my vitality of my cells are going to start aging because it can't take in the nutrients to create the potential hydrogen balance. My cell says, hey, we have to be on high alert. At any moment, something bad could happen. That's where my body is right now. So we have this hypothalamus, pituitary, adrenal communication. And everybody does this. And if it's in high alert, then your adrenals are going to stay stuck on. And so the body will then create its physiology pattern as if no matter what setting you're in, believes that threat is there. So I've been taking and looking at this, knowing it's a spiritual issue. No, it has nothing to do with God and how I'm not talking to God or any of that. That's not it. The spiritual issue is the beliefs, the things, the repetition, the things that are habits, and things that are programs that I haven't unprogrammed myself yet. So the first 7 years of your life, you're programming of how to become a human, but that doesn't have to dictate who you are going to become when you choose to become you. And you have a chance with the growth of who you are to separate at any given moment when you start to use your conscious aspect of yourself, especially in the right brain where enlightenment is happening. Because we get so programmed to be left brain, school teaches, home teaches, everything's about left brain, be logical, da-da-da-da-da. But it also cuts you out. You say, I have to stop being me, and I have to become attached to the thing that says I'm going to take my love away from you if you don't behave. When that occurs, we are changing our programs to fear instead of love. And then you'll grow and you'll grow and you'll grow and you'll get up to an older age and you'll have love in your space. Kids are happy. Husband's happy. But when you wanted to start doing something for yourself and all that love starts to pop around, it can become annoying because you kind of left yourself out of the equation. So this is where you're going to find a lot of people that are gamers or a lot of people that are readers or whatever it is that you want to do, and you go to do it, and there's a constant interruption. And hopefully, it's love. If it's negativity, then you're probably going to be more blow up and get angry and I just don't have time for me. But usually the essence is people just get annoyed if you have to pay attention to someone else. So in a way, you don't really feel like you can grow. You have to what? You have to interact. You have to protect. You have to do this human thing. Now, everybody will do the human thing completely different, and it'll usually be based on how you grew up, because that'll be your program, because you were totally open to that, to come in as a little baby and be vulnerable to your environment and learn how to act, be, and in your teenage years, you're starting to be creative, or you cut that out and you force yourself to be this as everybody else. And then when you finally get into usually when you start getting into your 30s, you're like, wait, I want to be me. Now, we had old paradigms that says you're not, that's selfish, you have to put other people first, and da-da-da. This is where it gets very confusing, because when you look at what's the right thing to do, you're going to be looking at old programs as this is the right thing to do. And if you've never left your house, then you would never really know that there's anything else that could be the right thing to do. So travel is important. Experiencing different families is important, because it starts creating parameters so that you can go outside your space to begin to experience and grow. Now, if this experience is not healthy for you and you go from one family to the next that is, oh my God, then you're going to think, I don't want to go out there. So you'll create a program that'll say, I don't want to go out in the world. I just don't want to be around people. Now, here's what's important. As you begin to grow and you start experiencing the world, you'll know how to react because you did it when you were younger. But when you are in situations that you've never been in before, can you be you? Or do you be the program? And chances are you're going to be the program. And so this is where the attraction factor comes in. This is all the programs that you were and are, and what you know keeps replicating of every day. The people you bring in your space that keeps repeating to you, this is who you are and what you know. And this is how you're supposed to do things. Now, growth will happen when you are not really supposed to be this, and you are supposed to wake up and move forward into a new area of your life. Now, what's funny is I would sit there and I'd be like, oh my God. Because in my household, there was a high maintenance person that just sucked the life out of everything. And you're left with nothing. And there's just a bunch of people and everybody pushing their signals of who they are. And you can get crowded. And I, being more right-brained, could sense with my sensory system the smell of the room, the energy of the room, I could see things that other people couldn't see. Now, there was only basically a span of a couple years after my boyfriend died that I just cut off my right brain and went to my left brain. And I just went, logically, I have to get over this pain of my loss of my love of my life and the horrific thing that he got in a car accident. And it's like, I just tuned out spirit. I tuned out my heart. I shut it all off. I just can't take and experience it anymore. Now, where did I learn that? Now, you just think, hey, that's just life. But you know what was interesting? Is that it happened to my mother, too. Her son died when I was very little. And she shut off part of herself. And she did just that. She had to take care of her kids, logically do this and that in order to survive. So I did the same thing without realizing it. Now, 2 years later, I woke up in a college taking accounting. And I'm like, what the hell am I doing here? And I was just like, wow, I'm doing shit I don't want to do. But now I signed up for it. I have to follow through. Do I? In a belief system that, yes, you have to follow through or else, is this very strong thing that you have no choice. When I woke up and I kept going, oh my God, I can't get out of this. And I started to do insanity. I kept going and feel like it was in hell. I was like, I just can't get out of this. Oh my God. And it was just, and then all of a sudden it was like, I went into this emotional shit show. Every day my body was starting to fall apart. I felt adrenal issues. I was, oh my God, I can't do this, because I was forcing myself to follow through, that I had to follow through because that was a very strong belief system that you had no choice. And so every day I would go and I was burning myself out to the point that you're burnt out. You can't go any further. And I hit this wall and I did my best to push past it. And I hit this wall. And then finally I had to go to the dean to tell him, look, there's nothing left in the tank. Oh, he just kept telling me to stick it out. I go, I feel like I'm insane. The same shit's a different day, nothing's stopping. And my body feels like it's dying. And I could never understand what this meant until I learned, basically got all the pieces. And even up to this morning, I got the information of why I'm out of alignment with me, living in a way of false meanings and false realities. It's not even me. I just wanted the insanity to stop. I just couldn't do it anymore. I was complete burnout. Well, what kind of future do you have? I don't know. I can't even think about whether I drank any water today. My body, my frontal lobe is not even in charge of taking care of me physically anymore. And you have to understand what a lobotomy is when your frontal lobe gets jacked up and messed up, that you forget how to take care of yourself. And then it takes time to recover. So my cells are feeling constantly that it has to protect me from that attitude, that belief system. This is what you have to be, do it the right way. And everybody's energy, nobody takes and brings their energy in the room. They just bring their shit in the room, and there is no responsibility, accountability for their energy. And they just, and that was, at the time, I didn't understand that I'm a kinesthetic, I am an empath, and I am a sensitive. But what does that really mean? I am really right brain. So I can look at something and see the answer. Somebody else can look at something and see the answer. And then you take the two, and when I go to explain how I got the answer, you're wrong. It can only be left brain logical. And I had a friend that stood back and watched me and my ex talk, and I'm like, oh my God, why can't we just do this? Well, no, you can't, because your words are wrong, and you need to get my words in your mouth, because I'm right, you're wrong. And I just walked away, and my friend says, you both are saying the same thing. I said, I know, but we can't proceed until I'm on bended knee, and that was an old program. When I was little, like I said, my sisters and brothers, they would all, attention, me, or suck the energy out of the room. And I had this one sibling that just fought all the time. There's mom, has to fight. And it was because they wanted something. And we moved, and I'm 13 or 12, I can't remember how old I am, and I'm sitting there at my friend's house, because now I can just walk down a couple doors and get away from my family that are fighting. And 2 seconds later, I swear to God, I'm in my friend's home, and they're doing the exact same thing that I just left. And I couldn't understand, wait, what? And I'm like, I got nowhere to run. Because when you lived in a small apartment, you have no room unless you go hide in the toilet, and then you get yelled at for that too. So when I started to understand that your attraction factors, you attract in what you know and who you are, I started to take hold of it and thought, no. And so this is where Spirit has said, here, use a tool, here, use this, here, use this. And what it does is it helps calm the emotional chemical peptides down. And your brain is like a tuning fork. Now, my thoughts are not in my head, they're in my space. And I will often tell you about how you're like an orb, and the energy of when two orbs come into the room, they can touch and be fine. And when they cross over, they can create a different meaning. So this is the vector Pisces. It's the space in between, a shared space. The problem is if you're out of alignment, holy crap, it can do some interesting things. And so I'm more of a receiver, energetically receiver, because of the way that my right brain is. I can see and hear. And so as I'm sitting there, and people will come in with their shit shows, and that's fine. You have every reason to be. That's not a problem. But you have one thing I've learned, just like from Jill Bolte Taylor, and she proved that to me, was that people need to be responsible for the energy they bring into the space, because it affects everybody else, and to some degree, and it changes the dynamics. It changes. And you're like, what the? I was happy. Now I'm a shit show, and it's your fault. And it's not about that. It's about your fault. Why did I match my tuning fork up with their tuning fork? I got a program inside that needs to be changed. So when me and my ex, and I mean, oh my God, it just was like day 3 of being, can't leave the house and being tormented. And I kept healing. I kept holding my points. I kept taking this frontal lobe. And I'm like, no, we're going to heal this shit out. My cells are going, oh my God, oh my God. I'm like, no, we're healing this shit out. And as I'm using the tools, my body went, whew. And what I realized is that my cells did not feel like I had to have their threat. That was a threat anymore. My tuning fork stopped. They can be the same freaking tuning fork all they want. But my tuning fork don't have to match. And my tuning fork does not have to be entrainment or resonate. And if you imagine a tuning fork setting off other tuning forks, but why can't the other tuning fork set off that one? But if you take a tuning fork and you take a glass and you hit the pitch high enough, it destroys the glass. Now that was me. I was the freaking glass. Until I learned how to heal myself more on the cellular level. Because I was literally dying. And then I said, no more. I can't do anymore. I know my environment is causing me to be sick. I can't tell what's in the environment because I'm so close into it. I can't see it. I need a different environment. This is why I'd be going crazy as a mother. What the hell? I've got a great life. I've got kids and I can't handle it. Wow. You know, the epiphanies of understanding that when you really are right-brained and the way you see and hear the room is going to be completely different, but you still have to have a healthier perspective and healthier protection so your cells don't feel like it has to starve itself, because the body, when it gets to the point where the cell says, oh my God, I got to protect myself, because the toxic energy, the toxic environment, and your body goes into fight, flight, freeze, stress, 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 stress. The HPA, the hypothalamus, pituitary, and adrenals is part of that stress thing where it protects you. And when your adrenals going threat, 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 and you're like, where? Because it's not, I can't see it. And you're going, what the hell? It's the energy from the person. And that's where I had to learn. And I still got a long ways to go. But that's when I learned about Celtic weave and connecting heaven and earth, and a zip up, and the Wayne Cook, and how I need to fluff my energy, and how I need to be connecting to the fact is that if I'm laying in bed and I'm completely stressed, and there's nothing to be stressed about because I'm not worried about anything, I'm picking up other people, not because I want to, but I'm this freaking antenna, this tuning fork that starts to match them. And I'm like, how can I stop that? I don't want to be stressed. So I've learned to set up and support and be there for them. But my body's still, and I'm like, how the hell? And what it is that I have to change the programs in me so my tuning fork don't go around and go, oh, he matched this one. No, if I, and I learned from that ex-husband that if I heal this out, my tuning fork where it can be changed, because it doesn't carry the same code, it isn't going to change. So I got to look for this code, and I got to look for this. So this is why a lot of times people come out and they're so stressed. I says, just take, follow me, rub here, use magnet there, and boom, they're like, wait, why does my brain feel better? Why do I feel better? And it's because we're creating a disrupt in the tuning fork aspect of who you are. And I'm getting so ready to teach my Source Point Healing class, if you haven't noticed. So I kept asking, so why is my adrenals kicking off if I have a great life? And it is because my cells have divided, and it says there is a threat. And I'm like, no, there isn't. So I have to find the program. I have to find the program. I have to find the tuning fork that has this code that says every time I have to attract in another tuning fork. Oh, there it is. No. Got to go in there. I got to heal that. I got to, and this is what we got to do. This is what we have to help you understand, you know? So like people with anxiety, no, hold on, just hang on there. If you have anxiety, if you have something going on and you feel like you need to get off, it's like all of a sudden you're on this train track and this train's coming at you, but you can't move. But your body's going, oh my God, we need to move. And what happens is this visceral, when your body goes into stress, the blood, it's in pumping through your blood. And then your visceral aspect of you is to take and protect you. So it has to go into the limbs. It has no time to help create reality. It's got to save your ass. So your arms and your legs, you feel like you got to move because there's a threat somewhere. And usually the first sign of it is butterfly in your stomach. Your butterfly will flutter because that's where the nervous system, the visceral aspect, this is one of the main components where it starts, is right there. And you're right there. And then all of a sudden you're like, now if you pay attention, this is where we can also start healing you on a different level. The more you use awareness, the more you take the information in, the more you start to get it, the more you start working towards, I don't want this life anymore. Because most people don't even realize that they're running around going, I hate this, and then turn around and keep providing more shit for it. Oh, I can't be bothered. We have all these programs that are self-sabotaging, but we can change those. Here's you need to become more mindful of, oh God, this is really affecting me. I'm going to grab a tool and change this. You understand? So you are complicated to the degree down to the cellular level. And I want my cells to stop feeling like it has to protect itself. And I need to change that program. And so that it can take in and go grow again, so it can take in life, so it can take in that vital nutrients. And when those cells become sister cells or daughter cells, where it has the new program that it has to be addicted to these negative emotions, which means on the cell is a receptor. And this receptor is like a lock and key. So I had something here. I don't see it now. But you think of a lock and you think of a key. Now, on the cell, it has like a door lock. Okay, so all these the things are proteins and all these things, whether it's hormones or what it is, get locked into the cell, and then the cell vibrates you in and out of existence. But if you're stressed and then this is happening and then the cell divides, then you are going to be more of this because you didn't resolve it. And so the cell says, so then it had all the receptors that were, maybe used for nutrition or to release toxins and stuff like this are now hooked into being, I have to have this neuropeptide. I got to be addicted to this neuropeptide. This is why when you're healing, a one-off healing is not going to really help you. One-off will begin the journey to what you need to become mindful for to help you get into the stage of where you need to go. Somebody says, is it to do with the soul contract that needs to be healed too? Absolutely. Your soul comes in and has choice points. Now, before you get here, before you create your soul contract, you're in school. Just imagine that you have, you're a beaming light. Just imagine you're a beaming light. And in front of you are all these other beaming lights. You don't know who they are yet. I have to work on abandonment. Who's going to be who's going to help me? That'd be the contrast to understand what abandonment is, because I don't know. So then it'll be your mom. Hey, I'll be the first. Okay, what if I don't learn it from you? Dad says, I'll be the second. Okay, what if I don't learn it from you? Sibling says here, best friend there. And if you've got it like set up to the point where if you don't heal it with the first one, and usually the first one will be your marker. And the marker is you're bringing all of what you didn't. Let's just back this up. Every past life, we talk about recycling. Every time you chose not to love yourself fully 100% and get the wisdom to love yourself 100%, you are then creating a contrast that you have to have other people show up to show you the shit shows. So where aren't you loving yourself 100%? Because you may be caught in your stories. So anything that you have, it's good to have understanding of your past lives to some degree, but basically you can see it by the program of when you come in. You can see your soul contract, everything. And the marker is that it'll kick off. If you responded in a negative way, and if it hurt, and if it's any of these things, then you didn't pass your test. So then you'll have choice points. And these choice points will come up and say, which fork do you want? Old pattern of what you know, or take in new information, heal from it, and then take a new pattern. And so usually, so at 4 years old, something bad happened. I reacted. It's called life. But I didn't pass my test. Nope. Next. And then all of a sudden, my mom will come up and she'll say, all right, I raised my hand to show you this. I reacted. Oh my God. Nope. Didn't pass the test. And then you keep bringing people in until all of a sudden one day, you wake up from it and you're like, wait, what? You question. And you realize that you don't have to be your program. Your soul says, here's the urge. Here's this. And even though the shit show's happening, you can calm it down. You can change that because it's the wisdom you want to take from the healing. And when you take the wisdom from the healing, you start to marry and integrate love and wisdom. And so that all of a sudden you're like, oh my God, I get it. And just so you can understand, like, why would my mother act that way? Jesus. I'd never do that. You grow up and all of a sudden you got kids and you start acting just like your mother. Instead of taking offense, you act like your mother. You're like, don't tell me that. You're going to go, oh my God, I get it. I understood why she did that because I just did it. But do I want to? Is there a choice? Yes. It's all about waking up. So it's up to you about how you want to wake up. If you got that soul's urge, and usually you'll know when you have the soul's urge because all of a sudden the things that really pissed you off and you couldn't do anything with it and you felt like hell was always there, all of a sudden that don't matter anymore. Your soul's doing a seeking. And people say, well, I can't get over stuff. Have you ever been in love? Because when you're in love, none of this matters anymore. It's coined the honeymoon effect. You actually know how to heal yourself. We just forgot. This is why after healing, we'll usually do this and say, put your giggles on. And it isn't about faking it. It's about connecting the energy and you'll feel it. And all of a sudden you're open to saying, thank you, Spirit. And the next thing you know what it is to giggle. You know what it is to feel certain things. And the more you take pictures of it, your body says, I have a new program. And that when love comes in, that cell goes, I feel safe. Let me eat now. I'm starving. And then all of a sudden the potential hydrogen balance can start to whoop. Because as soon as you start letting laughter in and joy, you'd be amazed. So what am I telling you? I want you to understand that if you are physically sick, you're physically having issues, what do you feel like there's a threat? What do you feel that you have to protect yourself by? Oh, because he's being an asshole today? Or, oh my God, I can't handle the kids. Even though they're in love, they're happy and they're joyful. Oh my God. The body sees it as a stress. I feel like I'm going insane because the hormones are like, your body is trying to tell you that it's still running on an old program, even though you're aging and every day comes in and you're like, the body's going, well, we're right here. We can't, So this is kind of like a stunted growth. This is like an arrested development. This is like your self-imposed limitations. This is why we look for those. And I had one of my tribal students go, "Oh my God, I just need to tell you this. I just had less of a shit show these days. And I had something bad happen in my environment and I started to react negatively and I stopped and I heard you say L1D. So I grabbed L1D and I sat there and I thought that through. And then all of a sudden that big fat tin of, I can't do anything about it. I'm stuck and this is my permanent life. Oh my God, it's written. And came down to a zero. And then I had this confidence that I needed to call this place and say, look, there's a problem here. And as soon as they saw it, they're like, oh, no, you don't have to pay that bill. You don't have to do that. In fact, consider it canceled. We've taken care of it. Something that seemed to be written in stone changed. Yes. Okay. Yes, I do readings. And if you're new, I'll give you 2. And if you've been brought by a friend, you can get 3. So take in all of these beautiful things. Take in what Spirit says. Learn to understand. We can begin to heal. You got to do it physically, mentally, emotionally, and spiritually. But to get to the physical, you have to wake up spiritually. And then in order to wake up spiritually, you have to take care of the mental, emotional shit shows and learn that your energy. And when you start to heal and change your energy, you can do amazing things. You're from Australia, New South Wales. I am from Adelaide. Hello, you're new, Lita. Okay, so I see Moon Goddess chatting away. Moon Goddess, have I ever read you? If not, then my moderator will tell me whether it's 2 or 3. Looking over here, Autumn says, when I was a kid, my eyes would always blink anytime I would go into the garage when my grandpa was working in there and he would make up his ductwork, the things that came out of the fires. Hold on, open. And I could never figure out why. All I wanted to do was be next to him. And he is a tinner, someone. Okay, awesome. So when you start to really begin to know that you're attracting in, wonderful. Okay, so I'll give you 2 minutes there, Moon Goddess. And then I'll go on to the next person. I see another person from you live in Adelaide too. Oh, wonderful. Okay, so let me take this first. So 1, 2, 3. Oh, hold on. Spirit says, wait a minute. Nita says, I totally can't comment on live right now. Really? It's giving me a clue. I was trying to comment and then share, and now I go through and watching the movie, Breaking Traditional Beliefs. Ooh. Open. They did a remake of Father of the Bride in Latina. Okay. And it twisted it. Really? Good. Breaking cultural programs. Absolutely wonderful. You may have to... well, if I can get it, I may have to know that movie. I love when I can see things like that happen. Okay. So, ready, Moon Goddess? Do you have something specific you wanted to ask, or whatever? Sonia. Hi, it's Sonia. Okay, we'll get to you too. Yes, we will get to you. Just if you don't leave, then you will be sought at or communicated with. And then I see that I'm just going to say, Walker, because my brain is not communicating. Let it. I'm just going to say, let Walker. So anyways, Moon Goddess. The only way you can really get onto my show is if you pay for, got to turn it around. The only way you can really get on my show is if you pay $24 for it and you get 8 minutes to spend with me. And that way, Spirit can give you the read and all of this. Where's it at? Right there it is. See it? Right there. I take paypal.me/reading11 ? Now, I'm going to give you your 3 minutes. Okay. So if you hang around, then I will give you also, because somebody's ahead of you. I got a Robin that we're going to work with for 8 minutes. But right now, it's all about giving you your 3 minutes. Okay. So Moon Goddess, you tell me. Yep, that's, okay. So Moon, okay. I'm just going to go and I'll look up if you have any questions. What's interesting is that the word popped in career, but then all of a sudden I heard the word bullied, and then all of a sudden there's a certain amount of anxiety, and then there's a certain amount of awkwardness. I says, tell me more. And they says, well, it's a conditioned process that affects the frequency, and it has to do with guilt. I says, is this within the person or is the people that are attracting in? And it has to do with a play out between you and another person. And the age is 14. So this keeps repeating itself over and over. I'm looking a little bit further, and it's something in the way of how you're supposed to communicate or exert your, no, the body's like going, I am in anxiety. So you have your visceral effects happening. So I feel the physiology happening. All right. How do you want? Spirit says, every time there's a certain encounter as you aged, you may not remember much of it, but the body had created a self-imposed limitation to help you process that moment when you were that young. And I said, tell me more. And the biggest subject was about territorial issues. And there was a worry. And again, they keep showing me 14. Now I'm looking at a condition that's a bell that will ring inside of you. And one of the things of outcome it came was to be indecisive. So far, doesn't make any sense. Then you would seem to attract people that had envy energy. Over time, your body said, your body, not you, I can't tolerate this. When people come in that space, I can't tolerate this. And so when people come in that space, whether you understand it or not, you would then, it would force you to take action. And then all of a sudden you would get in that disapproval state of mindset. And then what do you do toward yourself? Down in the sacral area of your body, you would get very, what's the right thing to do? What's the bad, so you do right and wrong. I meant 2 minutes, not 3, sorry, because you weren't brought. But does that make sense? And this was for goddess, moon something, moon goddess. Hopefully we're listening and you can give me a comment back. The next person is Walker. Are you here? Please announce yourself and you will be next. How you doing there, Miss Crystal? Interesting. Okay, so if you still want to go for it, then yes, it is just $24. And then you'll be put on the list and then you can come into the room with me. Or if you have your own show, we can do the dual thing. There you are. Okay, so I'm just saying Walker because it's easier. And so I'm going to give you 2. Me. I feel like somebody wants to be a singer or they're trying to clear their throat or trying to do something like that. They said that this person, and it's really interesting because I'm looking, it doesn't feel like you. It just feels like there's, did you have somebody that died? That was a singer or whatever, because what happens is that I feel like this person was constantly in their health, constantly in a shit show, just constantly in a certain space. It was, and the thing is that what happens is when you had this person in your space, it ended up, okay, so again, were you able to use your voice? Were you able to do that? Because somebody is coming through. You've got 5 people that are on the other side, and they're all saying that what you do toward yourself is what they want to communicate, regardless if you can catch who this is. They says you do a self-imposed limitation, and that is that you in order to end an argument, you blame yourself. Do you blame yourself just so that they'll shut up? Do you do that? Because what they said here had to do with the fact that it starts to tap into feeling their worthlessness. Your body starts to think, oh my God, I'm worthless. Again, I'm feeling that there was a reward and punishment. So you may be looking for praise and all they did was give you nothing or punishment. Do you understand? Because spirit goes very fast. They said in order for you to cope with that, you would just become self-centered and you would just be, I got to take the blame. I've got to, you were domestic violence relationship for 36 years. Yes. Okay. This totally makes sense with why you did that. So why do you want her to know this? They said, well, there's a certain amount of overwhelm that's stuck in her tissues. You talking about cells? They said, yeah, especially down in the hip joints, the SI joints. And they said that there seems to be a lot of, work. You had to work, you had to work, you had to work. And I said, okay. And there's a lot of crying buildup in there, and that can be released and healed. Does that make sense? Because you can, because trust me, if a lot of people, when they come on, they said that they're shit shows, we can help the body. We can help you. We can get your mind more calm. Okay, so your body wants to heal that. So I don't know who it is. They're saying hi. If you just know anybody else on the other side, okay, then that's what we're going to do. You just know somebody on the other side. Then just know that they love you. You don't have to really click. What the hell is that? There we go. Now I lost my screen. And that's fine. Okay. So there was another person. All right, you're new. There was one more person before you, Tan. They were numbers. I saw numbers. And is user 6177367 blah blah blah. Sonia, are you here, Sonia? Yeah, there she is. All right, Sonia. I'm looking, and the body. I'm just going to jump right to the body. It's in self-preservation. I have to preserve. I have to protect myself because. And I said, tell me why. And it says that my happiness is in my pride. Oh, okay. So where did your happiness go? And can you be proud of yourself? And they said that somehow you were, especially around 7. So you basically downloaded this environment, but something around age 7 made it so that you had to do a learned helplessness. And that's a lot of reward and punishment. And you want something, you're going to be deprived, and then you would have to do something to earn it, and maybe something you don't want to do. And you end up causing yourself to feel helpless and fine. I'll do this. And this is just one of your archetypes. What I'm hearing is that there seems to be always a power play. Does this make sense, Sonia? Because what I've got here is it's a certain amount of in different ways of being in a relationship, but the subtlety, there's a certain amount of subtle energy that does conditioning. So a person can come up and be very subtle. I says, anything in particular? And they said, well, bitterness. When somebody comes up and has the energy of bitterness, or they'll go, I'm so disappointed in you. It just makes me angry. They can be very loud, or also can be very subtle. They says what happens is that there's this compulsion. So all of a sudden your body, when it sees this, it's because I feel like you're sensitive, without realizing it, the body then says, I have to preserve myself. I have to do this. I have to do this. And it feels like it's going to be helpless. And they, and this has to do with the fact is that I feel like when you were little, it's like if I have to put down what I want, and I have to attach myself to you because I don't want you leaving me. Does that make sense? Okay. Okay. So let's break this down. Next person would be Tan. Tan, are you still here? Sonia says, yes, it does. Yes, I'm cautious as I have been domestic. You too. Okay. Yes. Okay. So this is where we have to do, because we've had extreme, you've gone through such extremeness, then your body and you need to learn how to heal out. Your body and you learned how to heal out. How do you want to put it? The triggers, the belief systems, the patterns, the programs, the emotional chemical peptides that create the ties. And when you start to use the healing tools that I use, you start to break those down. Do I have an email? Okay. So in this case, yes, I have an email. I just don't know. Oh, it's pinned in my bio. Yes, there you go. Everything's in my link tree. So you just go to my bio. Yes, thank you. Forgot about that. So Tan, you must have left. In my link tree, or for those that are in tribal, those that are on Facebook, whatever, you go to Medicine Woman Solution. That's SOULT, So it's SOULTION. So it's soul. It's like solution, but it's soul. Just switch the letters around. So it's Medicine Woman Solution. And when you go to my website, which is .weebly.com, there's something called Healing Tools. And there'll be a drop-down list. And you can play with any of those healing tools. They're free for you. So you do not have to sit there and feel like you have to be in hell. You can start. It's like a little bit of hope, a little ray of hope in it. And if you just start chunking away with using the tools, especially the OMG. And OMG really works best when all of a sudden, oh my God, he said I was an idiot. Okay, let's say that's your trigger word. Let's say you know this because you're aware of it. You write it down. You put the number 10. You put your hand here and you go, oh my God, oh my God. Just think of how you know that to be true for you. All of the hell loop. So you're going to keep your hand here because your palm on your forehead and fingers drop. And you'll sit there and think with this hell loop, oh my God, oh my God, oh my God. What happens is the body in you and the innate wisdom will begin to heal you. You just have to participate, bring your hell to the table, use the tool, communicate with the body, and the body will do the rest. You then have to go, oh my God, it was a 10. Oh, it's an 8. Oh, keep going. And if you like the fact that you feel better, keep going, keep going. Why? You're worth it. You don't have to believe everybody tells you just so they can, because they're pissed or they got to want to control because they can't figure out how to self-regulate or self-control themselves. But the power is within you to do just that. Tans, there you go. Tanisha, how you doing, dear? Okay, 2, ready? Oh, Jesus. This great amount of overwhelm. I feel like somebody just keeps coming in. It's got to be their shit show, but it just came in and just like hit my chest. I'm looking at this and I'm hearing that there's a language of fear. I'm saying body, scalar. Nope, it's out here. So the oscillation field is that there's fear in your environment. And there's something that you've learned that, which is not true, but you learned that you're irrelevant in the particular environment that you're in. The question is why you're still there. Why is it you're putting up with it? And you are confused by this because the body says, I have nowhere else to go. I've been convinced that this is a safe place, even though it's not really safety. So do you have somebody that's a gaslighter, a manipulator, that's smooth talking somehow in twists? Because that's one of the loops that can happen. Now I'm looking and I keep hearing you fall for people that sour grape. Oh, I guess it shouldn't have happened. And you feel like oh, okay, she said my husband. Okay, yeah. And so then you run to his side because your heart's going, we love this person. And then it gets very confusing. So I said, Spirit, how would you want the best help? And that is, you grew up in a family where they forced you to be needy. They didn't give you the primal needs of attention or love. I'm not trying to blame your family. I'm asking. So if you feel like there's going to be loss, you never wanted or any of this, then you're going to create this needy thing. And because needy will come into play, you may not be realizing that you're needy. But you're like, but if they're not there and nobody else is, there could be a feeling that you're going to die factor. It depends on how extreme you are in that. Oh, thanks for the rose. So here's the thing, is that you're gun shy. I feel like you've moved into a space where you're gun shy because it's like you got beat down to the point where, oh, I don't want to get in this conversation. And gun shy is the best way to explain it. Let's say you got in a car accident and you go to get in your car, you're like, I'll find something else to do. Or you finally get into the car and you're about ready to drive and you're like, yeah, I'm going to talk myself out of it. And these are the self-imposed limitations because you're like, I don't really want to experience what I just experienced. I haven't quite let it go. And even if I did some healing, I still have more to go because I'm still resonant. I don't want it to happen again. It happened once, it can happen again. I'm going to say, just start off. This is the best one. But if you go to the website, you can find cord switching, not cutting. Don't cut it, switch it. And all these other things. Now, anybody else new? Because if you're new, then I will give you your reading right now. And at this point, All I see is we're going to take Robin. Robin, are you ready? I'm going to go ahead and get the link, and you're going to find you in just a second. Where'd you go? Well, good Lord, I'm on the wrong page. That's why. Where'd you go? Well, how can that be? Robin, where'd you go? There, no, there you are. Searching all over. Okay, so yeah, it did say that so you'll be next after that, my dear. So after that will be, I like that, Sky Lee. Wonderful. I never understand the transactioning process. So how much did you pay for one, two? I don't know. Oh, we have somebody new here. 1 minute possible. Okay, so before I take Robin, I'm going to go over to Joy and take that 2 minutes there for Joy. Joy Wright, give me a minute. And then Robin, I'm trying to find where I can, where the heck did I put you? There you are. Okay, so I'll be right there and just with you in just a couple seconds. So Joy Wright, have I read you before? I'm new. Okay, would love it. All right, here we go. Joy Wright, what do you see for this man who has re-entered my life? All right, so Spirit, why have you attraction factor pulled him in? Is this more for love? To some degree, but there's a resonating. So you're going back to something that's familiar, and you're like, "Ooh, this feels right." And they said there's a broadcast message from you, from him. And when you feel the energy from him, you feel like you have a certain amount of power. And I says, this is not the honeymoon effect, is it? No. Okay, fine. What do you want her to know? And they said that there is a part of you that you kind of signed up to go through a lesson with him. And he's meant to help you see yourself and what the story of disapproval is whether you disapprove of yourself or if he disapproves you, but you're supposed to be going through a certain lesson. Do you want to do this lesson together? Yes. So I'm hearing that the environment is now more compatible so that you can finish doing what you need to finish or to continue to grow. So you have this growth pattern that possibly could happen, or this could be a pattern of, oh my God. Okay, so it's going to bring up something that happened around age 14. So you're going to bring up this OMG, and there's something about an obsessive thinking, obsessiveness. I'm looking down in the cervical part of your neck here, and specifically C5, more on the left side, that it's about, I have to work on my low self-esteem I had. Okay, that doesn't sound too bad. And it is like it's going to bring up feeling of suspicious. So if you were jealous or anything and you were falling into that suspicious area, then what happens is that you're going to be looking at how you feel deficient on knowing how to self-soothe, self-regulate. And I said, oh, all right. And then they said, and what is the intention and not my intention? So you're going to be looking through a filter with this person. Brill. Okay. So as I'm looking, Brill, are you here? And then we will take Robin. And then that will have to wait, and everybody else have to wait until I'm done. But Brill. Did they stick around? It's the only thing I don't like about the leg. There you are. All right, so Brill, you got 2 minutes. There's something about unreceived self. So you're not really receiving yourself. So you've got an unreceived. So what are you no? They said there's an arrested development. About age 2 years old, there was a part of you that felt like an inside that you didn't know how to communicate with the outside. So there was like this communication issue about it. Was it more social? They said, no, it was more about how things played out. You didn't really know how to communicate, and you didn't know how. And that part started to affect you when you got older, because then you would just go try to avoid situations and you'd lose the confidence. She has a question. What's the question? I didn't see it. All right, moderator, did she have the question? I want to know about, okay, so you're talking about relationships. Again, what I'm saying is that you had this social issue, which causes you not to be able to communicate fully with this person you're with now. And so there's a part of you that just feels that you got to self-justify all the time, or there is this jealousy all the time. And you feel this muddled instability. And I said, okay, then tell me what's going on. And they go, well, if you can learn how to heal to get over this, that you stop going into old habit of avoiding self, then what happens is that you'll be able to be more conscious, to be creative in this relationship. And should this relationship continue? Yes, because what I'm hearing is that you're starting to learn about the shame, whether you should have it or not. Okay. And the thing is you need to heal out shame. I said, if you begin to heal out shame, will this person stick around? And I feel like no, because what happens in a way, you're conditioned to be hooked up with somebody that is supposed to, because the tuning forks are communicating where shame is somehow the subject, saying shame. And your body is addicted to feeling what? Feeling that my body's to blame, I not good enough. So there's like an unworthy aspect of communicating. So I'm going to take care of this paid one. Just give me a second here. We're going to click on send. Robin will come into the room and we will communicate. And then after that, it will go in for good Lord. And just remember, if you like it, you can like the screen, you can tap the screen or send gifts. That's fine too. Appreciate the exchange of energy. The next person then would be Sky. And did they, moderator, did they want to do their own show, come live, or bring them in as a co-host or a guest? So let me know one way or the other. And there we go. So if you want to, you just make sure if you ever want to watch the reruns again, you can go into Facebook under Medicine with Solution, watch all the medias, they're there, or you can go over to YouTube and watch them there. And okay, so hold on, volume. See if that worked. And I need to move this over here so now I can see what I'm doing. Robin, I don't know if the volume is working. Let me try to get the mic thing again. There you are. Hello.
You got reverb.
Oh, you got reverbs. Okay. All right. You can just mute that until you figure it out. So that's fine. I'll keep talking. Okay. So. Okay. So.
Wait a minute. I know what.
You figured it out?
Yeah, it's Facebook.
Oh, there you go. Okay. Yeah, I just read you, Joy. If you hear me read somebody else and it sounds familiar, yes, because we do carry a lot of agreed upon situations. Oh, I think she's got it. Robin, you ready?
Yep.
All right. Is there anything specific, not Pacific? We don't want the ocean. You want to talk about?
No, I just want to hear what Spirit wants to
Okay. All right, Spirit, what is the next thing that you're ready? And she said, hooray, hoo-ha, la la. So there's a lot of joy that your soul says is happening. And you're keeping that peace a lot longer, which is awesome. And you're working on the subject about objectivity. Interesting. So you have the subject and objective. So you're learning at what your beliefs are that affect your reality. But they said what also is that as you start to go through what you need to heal, you're starting to notice you're retaining your happiness and you're understanding. Are you recognizing that you got your control back of like self-regulating, self-soothing, that or if somebody's a shit show, you're not really having to lose control? Do you feel that you got more control of your world?
Absolutely.
Okay. So they just want you to recognize all this. And they said there's the word stubborn. Now, when I asked, is it stubborn about, she giggled. So are you stubborn?
I'm a Taurus the bull, yes. I'm very stubborn.
All right, let me divide this up. The stubbornness that you are referring to for her has to do with what others want you to do. So in this case, it isn't about stubborn. It's about listening to the bullshit. Well, you're just so stubborn, Robin. And remember, this is just a control factor because they couldn't get their own way. Does that make sense? Oh, you're going to piss a lot of people off because you're done remaining small. You're like, I'm not going to be small anymore. Screw that. So good on you, Robin. And they said that you will begin to notice that, okay, so just imagine you're a tuning fork, and you're vibrating this way. You used to match the tuning fork. And of course, then your life was hell. But now that you've healed the inside of you, you started vibrating different. They're looking like, how come I can't affect you? How come I can't affect you? Okay. So is this happening? You're starting to realize, I don't need to become them. So you're learning how to be more you. So you're learning to tune in to more of your authenticity. Now, the emotion that they want to bring up has to do when people become very self-conscious of themselves. I'm naked. People see me. Oh, they're going to judge this. Does this make sense?
Mm-hmm.
So as they look at the self-conscious, they said you can't figure something out. So now this means that you're probably in the unconscious incompetent level, and you haven't quite figured out how to take a peek at what needs to come up. What can we help her to do? Because this is where she's at. Was there a great fear growing up that you were going to get tattled on?
Constant.
Okay. So we know that tattling's part of it. And there's the panic that goes with it. And I can't behave the way I can't behave. And there's stress. So I'm looking at how your cells began to divide around age 5. And so it created sister cells. So now we're going to look at that sister cell, which we already know that there's panic in there. We already know all of this, what I just said to you, and this tattling. But the body says it also is doing a recall of being accused. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
And these two are playing together, which creates anxiety. So not only is your body doing one thing, it's doing another. So as that's happening, it takes away the security. Now we're going to learn to look at this because because it was such a young age, you've had to learn to suppress it to get past. What do I mean by that is, oh my God, thinking of worried fear. And the only way that she could handle it is that she had to suppress the feelings and suppress the feeling. And they said that I can't be. And you can't be you if those feelings are in your face. So you had to suppress that I can't handle it. I can't do it. And so if you've ever said to yourself, oh my God, I can't.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So now we know that that has to do with what? Tattling, panic. I can't.
I felt that in the pit of my stomach.
Yes, because that's the visceral. The visceral, the HPA stress part of you that's supposed to protect you got kicked down. So now you're fight and flight. Okay. So I'm looking at this and they said that you're getting good at learning that you have worth. Now we want to help you understand that you suppress this. So L1D right now and left wrist, first position deep. You want you to sit there and feel like you can't be confident. Just feel that spot in the body, the stomach where you said, and I just want you to take in what I said. Just breathe in and out. Because right now we're working with her physical cells, the innate wisdom, and her ability to say, we're going to heal this on a deeper level. And she's using the information that pops in her head. You're doing really well. So what is she doing is that she's listening. The combination of the tool allows her to feel safe at the same time address something that's unsafe, something that she knows but has forgotten because she knows it so well. It's like, I know that I can walk. I don't pay attention. I don't say I have to put one foot in front of the other. It's just a natural thing. And we want her to become aware. There she goes. That was a very interesting thought that come through your head, but notice that you feel like the body is addicted to it. one of the key things is you feel this lofty energy that says you have to be addicted to it. Can you feel how lofty it calls you? I feel an area of where it's all of a sudden impending doom as well. The have tos. Now, I want you to realize your 6-year-old self is the timid self, very startled, shy. And it needs you to say, okay, talk to me. So just 2 seconds, okay, talk to me. And all I can hear is, I'm an object. I'm nothing.
You hear a lot of tears, like the crying, the deep crying.
Let it come out so that they have their turn of healing. Because I feel like it wants to stand up and come stand next to you, but it doesn't know how to get up. So at this point, that's fine. Let it feel. Let it feel. Now, this 6-year-old says, I have a phobia. And the phobia is that people just can't tolerate. And it's the intolerance of how people say, I can't tolerate you anymore. And it hurts. It's like your mother just disgustingly said shit. And you're like, what? Very good. You're doing really well. Now, I just want you to call all your pieces. I'd say I just reclaim myself. I reclaim all my ages. I reclaim all my energy. And then as you start to pick yourself up like you're a piece of exorbitant paper towel and you're absorbing yourself up, just see all those ages going, oh, you're going to hug yourself back to, all the broken pieces are all going to be hugged back together. So just, here you go. And notice that the tattling, that don't have to put energy into that anymore. Here you go.
That they're all standing.
Good. Excellent.
Like they have legs underneath them.
Now, it's going to come with its own logical reasoning that has to keep it. So the excuses and the reasonings, pay attention if anything pops up. Because it's arguing to keep its limitations. That's okay. It's telling me that I'm going to have to do what they say. Now, you're an adult now. I want you to talk to them. Say, no, we're together. Well, that's good. And when you're done measuring, tell me where you're at.
Two.
Just keep holding. And when you start feeling this impending doom, say, is it true?
Yeah.
Very good. Very good. Very good. And the little girl doesn't have to say, no, I can't do it again. I feel like she's much stronger now. Is that true?
Mm-hmm.
What number are you now?
I'd say 1.
Keep going. Whew. Now I'm going to say you feeling the giggles coming because it's interesting because they're not coming from above. It's like you've been standing on your giggles. I just felt like it wanted to come up. I feel like the little girl wants to go play jump rope or hopscotch or something.
You're jumping up and down. Yeah.
Tell her it's okay. You can go play now.
Absolutely.
All right. How do you feel now?
Oh my goodness. Oh, Brenda, you're incredible. Thank you.
Oh, thank you. Okay, so I take it's a 0?
Yes, we are.
All right, hook up and get your giggles on, girl. And remember, feel it all the way through the body like a great, good orgasm. Come on, you can do it. Get the giggles. She's got it. Awesome, Robin. Great healing with you. Go enjoy that. Hold that joy as long as possible. I'll let you out so that you can continue holding that. Okay, hon? All right. Love you, hon. Bye. See you tomorrow in Tribal.
Yes.
Okay, so now she's just going to continue to hold that joy. Hold that joy. Just realize it's 12:23 here in South Adelaide, or South, well, it's in Adelaide, South Australia. It's 76, finally warm in here. Still freezing it out in my living room. And it is June 27th. Now we're going to go in, and before I take the next person, who was present that was new? Just wanted to know. Because I can sneak one in. Oh, she'll come in her life. Excellent. Excellent. Now I just have to remember what her name is so I can go find her. It was Moon Goddess. Yes. That's good. Oh, thank you for all the coins. That's beautiful. Not seeing anybody else popping in and asking. That's awesome. Okay, well, doesn't have to be awesome. Okay, what's interesting is that I just have to read this out. Joyce said, wow, thank you so much. That's exactly my hesitation. He absolutely evokes intense emotions in me. And yes, the environment has changed, allowing him the full room to come in. He feels out of my league, and I shouldn't be saying that. My self-esteem has always been the struggle and has indirectly triggering. Okay, so again, hold these. This is going to be your biggest tool. You can do so many others that can change it. Hi there, Amber. How are you doing? You know what's funny? Autumn, she says, I told my grandma that she's judgmental, and she said she wasn't. They won't, because they don't see it as judgmental. Their view is that it's not judgmental. It's perfect. It's logical. It's left brain. It's perfect. Okay. Oh, thank you so much. Thank you for the stars, Robin. And I think I saw Joy. Thank you. And I saw one other person. And there's was it Linda? I think it was Linda. Yeah, right there. Thank you. Yes, all your names are going into the drawing. That's excellent. So I'm going to go look for. Oh, shoot. I don't see her. That's the problem. I see for the lot. No, that might not be. Shoot, what's the name of her show? I'm curious now. Hopefully she can find me because, is she there? No, that's not her. All right, this is new, trying to find the people. So I'm looking for Moon Goddess, but I don't know what the name of her show is. Oh, that's my problem. I know she's taking a show. So on TikTok, you can go as a co-host or a multi-guest. And because you have your own show, Spirit says, create that platform. So I'm doing the Spirit says. Thank you for the hearts. Thank you very much. Remember, you do not have to be the victim. If you're doing that, let's heal it out. With you on her show. Oh, so she'll come on as a guest. Or she'll invite me. Oh, either way, what I'm going to tell you is this. I'm going to go to the bathroom. That's what I'm going to go do. So what I'm going to do at this point is open this up. Open this here. And this is what I want you to see for those who are in Facebook land. What you're going to notice is this is the main tool. This is the source point healing. These are the points that you'll hear me say all the time. So I'll be back in just a moment. Here we go. So I'm back. All righty. Okay. I had to shut the heater off. I don't want to be getting too hot. Maybe me stripping. All right. So while I'm waiting for, yes, I am. I just asked for a request. Oh, I'm sorry. I went to the bathroom and got us. I'm back. And Joe, should I move to the Netherlands? You've got unfinished business, Joe, what I'm feeling. Because I feel at this point, you're going to be taking some emotional baggage with you. And it says that there's a lot of invading energies right now of anxiety that makes you want to jump and run. So let's do some closure to where you are, Joe, right now before you go. One of the things that you have to have closure about is how you feel very muddled. And you kind of feel that there's a lot of bitterness or resentment somewhere in your space. Somebody may have it, send it to you, or you have it yourself. It doesn't matter, but you can begin to heal out how you just feel like life is unfair. And if life is unfair, you really need to allow yourself, Joe, to process it out. So this is where I would tell you to do this. Life's unfair. It's a 10. Oh, that. And then look at everything. Keep your hand there until you start to notice it goes down. You're working through your problems because the energy is, the blood is coming back up instead of being in your limbs. In a fight, flight, freeze, the blood gets to come back up to your forebrain and you can start resolving your issues. Oh, well, there it is. How do I do that? Except, well, I've never seen that before. Okay, so here we go. Hello. Oh, I got it volume. Oh, I can hear you. Yay. Excellent. I want to make sure that this is up enough so everybody can hear. Okay, excellent. All right, Moon Goddess. How can I help you?
I just want to, there's a couple of things I want to know. So the first one is so when you start to lift up your vibration, your higher vibration, you start to see things differently around your surroundings. And I just feel as though that I've noticed that other people are not matching my vibration, and it's very difficult because it's like you don't want to continue doing the same thing over and over again because it's frustrating on this end, especially when you acknowledge what's going on.
Right. Okay. Well, what you're out. Okay, we'll get to the second one in just a second. Because we're in a certain amount of time, Spirit likes to talk fast. So this is the one thing it wants to do. Yeah. You're no longer can fit in the container that you force yourself into every day. Okay. When you start to raise your vibrations, you're going to have to be okay to lose your family and friends. Doesn't mean they die. It just means vibrationally you're out of match. You can put yourself back to sleep by taking and saying, I don't want to grow. I'll go back and be what they're doing and close down everything. But then eventually you're just going to burst up because you're going to be going, oh my God, I can't do it. So you may as well understand that how you're going to do this is that you're going to say, thank you, Spirit. Just start aiming for the direction that you want to go. And if they want to come with you, great. You start to rise. If they don't want to rise with you, then you're going to have to be okay to lose family and friends and let them wake up and realize you're not putting yourself back into the box. You understand? They said one thing that's going to make you feel like, oh my God, I don't fit with this group is because they are notorious of not giving praise. Okay. And it's not that we are ego and we need praise. But Spirit's one way is to show us that this is where we're heading. And you're used to hearing your old program where they poo-poo. And she's nodding, okay? So Spirit is telling me that it puts you in a state of confusion. My heart's saying, I love them. I love them. What are they saying? And if you end up slipping into ego and out of that higher consciousness, and all of a sudden you're going to think what they say is true. And then you end up doing a backslide, getting stuck, and then you got to start again up this dang hill. And they're saying if you could learn to understand that the most of the people in your space use love as a weapon because they're not trying to be mean. These are old freaking programs. You know, I'm so disappointed in you, Moon Goddess. That is love as a weapon. And you as long as you start to heal how that hurts. Now, the moment you go, oh my God, that hurts, you heal the pain, put it on a scale from 0 to 10. And this is where I would tell people to use the OMG. And we talked about needy. I think it was you with the needy. They created you to be needy, so can you survive without them in your space is going to be one of your major lessons. Okay. And I don't feel like you want to bring in the same old shit crew in order to feel, because you're like, oh, I see this pattern. I don't need this attraction factor. I don't need to bring this in. So to help you get over the neediness, they're saying that you have to heal this OMG that you had. People were invading your space. Now, I'm looking at how at that moment it created a self-imposed limitations. And it is, I can't behave the way I want because they won't love me. Okay. They said that in order for you to heal this, your cells are so used to that you have to remain small. You have to feel small. And your body says, hey, it's 2:00. You weren't small today. Who can we bring around to make you feel like you have to feel small today? And so we're going to address the program. In order to do that, like one of the things I teach would be L3D. So it's left wrist, third position. And then you would hold down here. So like once you put your thumb in the third position and push in deep, you put your finger here, you create the letter C, wrap these 3 around. Let's see if you can do it. Okay, so left hand, take your left hand, and then I want you to find your 3 fingers, line them up under the thumb. And then at the third position, that's where you place your thumb. And you can put nice and deep, push in. Put your other finger here in the palm next to the thumb, makes the letter C. Wrap these 3 for safety, stability, and security. Okay, I think you've got it. Now you're going to take your palm and you're going to place it on your forehead and let the fingers drop. Very good. Now notice, I think you're holding it correctly. I'm not sure. It looks like on the back, looks like it's up high. Do they rest comfortably down here? Not sure. As long as you have the front part, that's fine. And you're going to sit there. All the things I just said from 0 to 10. Feeling small is really basically one that hooks you in the most. And you are going to, what you're doing there, you end up staying in that position. You measure, I feel small. And then you sit there and you think about how you know this. Now, you can do this right now, or you can do it in later, because you're going to feel these little incidences where you felt small. And now you're going to go, oh, there it is. Holy shit, it's a 10. And then you're going to work on it until your body changes it from the cellular structure. What's your second question?
So I know that I've been holding a lot of things in my kidneys and sacral area as well. I felt like my kidneys were burnt out when I started to become a Reiki healer, and then I became a Reiki master. But doing a lot of healing, and that had to do with, again, being in my mum's womb and not feeling wanted. And
okay, so let me just put it there. All right, so I'm just going to look on a cellular level. Is it true that what she's come up with is that she felt unwanted inside the womb? And they said, no, it's conditioned. So it's an epigenetics. It means you didn't just do what you picked up what was in the womb. It was your mother also, or that family line, depending on the that you were conditioned. So there's a conditioning that you're always supposed to feel awkward and helpless. But with that, there's a certain amount of, I have to reject this out of my reality. It can sound like abandonment, but the body is trying to say what you really need to heal out is that you're startled. Do you startle easy? Because I didn't look like you jumped, but they're asking that.
No, not really.
Okay, but you've learned about territorial issues. Is that true?
Territorial issues,
meaning this. Okay, what's mine is mine, and what's yours is mine, and you have nothing. Territorial issues can be, oh, I love you, and I'm going to fight over you. Territorial issues can be the fact is that, oh, you have to share that, and they're really trying to tell you they want it. Territorial issues is, so there's always somebody crossing the line, and you're supposed to deal with it. You're supposed to deal with it.
Yeah.
Okay, so they said this is a habitual fear. So this fear, the fear energy, the fear stream, and because it's more of an epigenetic, they said that there's a part of you that, do you know what fanatical means?
Yeah.
Okay, so that fanatical in this aspect is always, I tell all my students, I want you to Look it up. And the reason why is because, yeah, I would look it up if I could spell the damn word. Oh, excuse me, Spirit. Well, how do you, okay, hold on. Fanatical. There we go. And the reason why is because we don't want somebody else's meaning. We want to develop our own. We don't want to assume. So filled with excessive and zeal. It means that you are extreme. You can go into dogma, which means same days, different shit, or an obsessive concerning with something. Okay, so your mind is where, so you can't take your mind off of. And I'm looking at the heart, and it says it gets very fanatical. And this is where I feel very vulnerable. So I'm like, well, how does it go to epigenetically? Epigenetically has to do with the fact is that does your mother ever self-justify or anybody self-justify? Well, this is why I had to do it. This is why I was feeling like shit. This is why. Do you hear that? You don't hear anybody self-justify? Well, then it must be a great world. Or because...
No, it's because they're ashamed to say anything.
Okay. But usually when you call someone out, they'll self-justify their behavior.
Yeah.
And then they obsess quietly in their head.
They haven't directly said it to me.
But you're aware of it, yes?
Yeah, very aware.
Okay, so notice that the vibration in your body is picking up that. Now, how they silently brood versus say it out loud, that they have to give reasons why. Well, I gave you up for adoption because of this, or I had to do this, or I had to do, I don't know why. Does your mom, who did this? That would use gestures, constantly having to touch their hair as they're talking.
She probably did.
Okay, it's like this. I mean, I had to. So the body is telling it's in stress. Okay, so again, to answer that last question, you're almost gun shy to get back into whatever it is. What was that last question anyway?
If I was to do, because I do a lot of healing. I'm a healer as well
right.
as a medium. So I want to do both, but I noticed that sometimes I could be very tired.
Okay. At any time that I'm a Reiki master, all of that too. You at any time, you should not be tired. You should be letting the energy flow through and heal you out. You had mentioned the word kidneys. I said, why? What's that?
The mediumship.
Yes, that should inspire you and make you feel healthy, especially if you're on the 7th plane. If you're not on the 7th plane, those other planes will drain you. You got to rise higher. But what I'm looking, because you mentioned the word kidneys, and that's related to feeling small. So you're not able to release the toxins. Your body is saying that it is addicted to feeling small. If you start to heal that out, you're going to end up changing that. When you go to do Reiki and you do all of this, the body is not going to start to vibrate and say, oh, I recognize your issue. I'm going to claim it as mine. Now, again, what does that mean, people? It's just mirroring effect. Her body can recognize something in somebody, but the brain will go, oh, that's my issue. No. We're working on somebody. We're going to let it pass through. Okay. Yeah. So when you're using your body, the temple is a signal. You can say, thank you, Spirit. And that is it. You're done. If this is it. Now, see, I use the magic wand. No, I'm not a witch, but it's my finger. It's my recognition of telling Spirit, holy shit, is that what it means? If this is it, so be it. Meaning I've come to this point of the meeting of the minds is with Spirit's like, that's it. And when I got it, I'll say, if this is it, so be it. The issue that I'm feeling will actually literally disperse. And I can resume back to what I was doing, which is the healing. Okay. Yeah. So when you start to feel your body, when you're working with somebody and your body starts doing it, remember that spot I told you, left wrist, 3rd position deep, because you need to begin to heal out the feeling small. Mm-hmm. All right. Did that make any sense?
100%.
Okay. Now you keep watching, you watch old videos, you can learn this is called success hope therapy. And the thing is that you're going to learning, but when you experience it yourself, especially when you can feel the body vibrate out the issue, you're going to be noticing the soul is saying, oh my God, I feel free.
Yeah.
And that is what we want to make sure you get. Okay. All right.
Yeah.
So as
Awesome.
far
And
as
other key elements that throughout the whole body, that's kinesiology.
kinesiology, one of the things that we do that, but I had to learn how to do it without touching people because can't quite do it when you're in Zoom. So you use spirit, you communicate with spirit. You do not trust your ego. You do not trust that. You have to use more of the heart, operate through the heart, the gut, and the brain, which is communicating with the higher consciousness. When I'm muscle testing, when I'm using different points, I can learn how to communicate with that in that plane. Now, yes, you can learn about the 7 planes of existence by Vienna Stabell, but to do it, you need to, like right now, you're in the 7th plane energy. And if your body starts to get recognized with that and you start to do the healing, you're going to start to get all the pieces. The tribal healers, they have learned how to get into the 7th plane so they can actually become healers and readers that can do more than just what we think we can. So, all right.
Right.
Thank you so much for coming on. I appreciate that. Well, and I'm not sure how to remove you, but I'll let you do that then. And we'll talk to you later. And thank you so much, my dear. All right. Bye-bye. That was wonderful. Let's see. Anybody else? Okay. So let me just check to see if anybody else is paid, which I got to find the right mouse. I got 3 mice on my desk. One of them does not need to be on here. That's for sure. But, do you think I'm going to? Okay, so that is that. All right. So again, if you would like to come on to the show one way or the other, it is just $24 for that. Get out of the way. I can't figure out how to get my chair to be out of the way. And so it says paypal.me/reading11. And the question mark is because sometimes Doug seems to appear. I don't know who Doug is, but he don't need my money. I'm the one doing the work. All right, so I'm looking at the rooms and I'm seeing Ramona. Will I get off the wait list to get into a nursing program this month or next month? Okay, now when it comes to understanding how I look and I see the quantum field. I see what you're choosing in and out of this quantum field. Understand when you are asking those questions, I'm watching how you're vibrating to constantly pick up the same thing because everything is in superposition until you choose. And when you choose, I watch you grab. And the more that you grab at the same thing, the same pattern, the same old thing, then it can stop you. So to answer that question, will I get off the wait list? Yes, you will eventually get off the wait list. I said, okay. Will you get into nursing school? Nursing program? Yes. So your end result, nursing program. Yes, I've got it. Say, thank you, Spirit. What are you doing today to get you further on that program? Now, you may want the need. Now, if it comes in like, I got to have it now. I'll just die if I don't. That can interfere with how fast that will be answered. Because if you're in a yearning and longing, any of that, it's going to postpone you from getting manifested. So is there anything stopping them to getting on off the waiting list and into this program this month? Frustration. And they said that the reason that you have frustration is because there's a part of you that just can't tolerate. Oh, I hate waiting. I hate waiting. Is that true, Ramona? Because what I hear is there's a certain amount of anxiety. Oh my God, this waiting bothers me. If that's true, understand that, yes, it makes you feel like shit. But at the same time, there's a part of you that becomes into, and this is where they want you to learn. Am I doing the right thing? Am I doing the right thing? So the self-conscientious part of you, the right and wrong thing, begins to come into play. So your program is running the freaking show on you. You need to get a handle on that. The best way to get a handle on that is notice that you feel a little insecure. The moment you begin to feel a little insecure, Ramona, is take your right wrist, third position, and place your thumb in a soft position. Let's see, that's the left wrist. That's just a sock. Aha. Okay. Now understand that you're going to put the fingers in the third position down here, nice and soft. Don't push in. Finger in the palm, create the letter C, wrap it around, and then place your hand like this. Oh my God, there's anxiety. Oh my gosh, there's frustration. Oh my God. And then how do you know it? Put it on the scale. It's a 10. I can feel my shit show. And then you sit there. And you stay there and let the body do the healing. And then all of a sudden, you're going to start removing some of these freaking programs that stop you from being in the program when you want to be. Because you're already going to be. We just have to take care of the hurdle that's in the way. Hopefully, Ramona stayed to get that. Hi, Erin. How are you, dear? Okay, I just saw something. I have to go look. Spirit tells me that I'm going to have to remove this off my screen. There, Windows 11 has this tells you the temperature out, which is great. But then it's great. As soon as you hover too close to that area, a darn thing appears, and then you can't see anything. So we have Joy. So Joy, Joy, right? Did you want to come on? Now, when you come, we can do it in the room. Hi, Ellen. You can do it in the room, or we can do it on the show. And I send you a link, and then it creates an audio link so I can hear you. Or you can be on video. That's up to you. But if you're going to pay, you have an opportunity to remove the lag, because the feedback time sometimes can not keep up with me. So Joy, right, let me know what you would like to do. Okay. So audio is fine. Okay. So what I wanted to do is I got to make sure that you have wrote me. So make sure you're at MWS, Medicine Woman Solution on Facebook, and message me so that we can create a dialogue, so I can send you the link so that you can come on. Now, again, you don't have to have the video. You can just have audio. That's fine. Clear that out. So I don't see you yet, Joy. So I'll wait until Joy comes in, and no, I have to wait until, because it doesn't find you. So you'll have to find me. There she is. Excellent. Excellent. All right. So if you're on Facebook, if you want to come in, you can, as long as you pay, you can come in. And, you don't have to have video. You can just have audio, or we can do this right here. All right. Shining Diamond, stop worrying. Okay. Take your right hand, left hand. I don't care. Place the palm on your forehead in this, and just go, oh my God, I'm worrying about this. Notice your 41 thoughts. Are they thinking, oh God, like get in the program? Hold on, write that down. It's a 10. Oh, just sit there and let whatever thoughts come up, and then you'll start to get it down to 0. You'll start noticing the statement changes, the emotions change, and then you can go, okay, so then the next 41 thoughts, let's say not all 41, but now all of a sudden you've got like 3. It's coming up still. And for those that are listening, understand you can still bring your hand like this and change it. Okay. All righty. And yeah, it's amazing when you come and go so quick. And probably happens on Facebook too. Elvis, hi. Only I understood another language. Okay, so let's get the audio up. All right. Hello.
Hello.
Hi. Okay. How can I help you, hon?
I am so intrigued because I'm new to you, and you just, oh my goodness, you just hit the nail on the head with my insecurity. That's exactly what he's triggering right now.
Exactly.
So I had to call in and talk a little bit more about it.
All right. So do we want to do some healing?
Yeah.
Let me ask you, do you feel insecure right now?
I do.
All right. On a scale from 0 to 10, what number is it? 10 being, oh my God.
I don't know. I guess I would say like an 8 to 10.
Okay. And the beauty is that when you start using that, becoming aware of where you're at and how you know, you can change it. So you're just going to follow along with me. And you're going to take, you're going to use your hand as a form of a magnet. And then we're going to go, Okay, so here's the thing. Your brain just went, hold on. It's okay. Breathe. All right, so I want you to go to the right foot. Go to the right foot. And I want you to go and notice you have a big toe and a second toe. You're going to follow the two bones up until it meets and fall into a hole. That's the point we're going to rub, but not yet. We're going to take our hand. We're going to slide it, go palm, flip it over, do the back of the hand, however you can get your hand in there. But you're going to use both sides of it, and you're going to do this at least 6 times. We usually like to go up to 12, but because
I'm doing it now, or I'm waiting?
Do it now. Do it now.
Okay.
You want to get results. Let's do it now. So as she does it to her right foot, at that point, she's doing this. Now you can use a magnet. Use a refrigerator magnet, one that has those 2 sides, and then you could end up just.
Oh my goodness! I was doing it with my bare hand.
You can no. That's what I want. Bare hand, or the option is something else. So if somebody had a magnet, but if you don't have one, most people don't have one. You can just use your hand.
I do. I'm grabbing one right
Okay,
now.
so there she goes.
Funny thing is, it says "Love who you are" on it. That's perfect.
Okay,
Too
again,
funny.
make sure it's the right foot.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, slide it across. Oh, see, she didn't even have enough electricity. So you're not drinking enough water, are you?
I'm not.
Yeah, I totally felt that. As soon as she grabbed that magnet, it's like my teeth goes, oh, we're adjusted.
Yeah, it's bad. I know I need to drink more water.
Woo! Okay, so now that she's got the magnet going, excellent. What I want you to do is take and find that point, push in and rub. Don't slide across. That's going to do nothing. Push in and rub. Now do that about 30 times. Do that about 30 times. Whew. And while that's happening, that's affecting her adrenals. Her adrenals, the beginning of the program, we talked about how the HPA, which is the hypothalamus pituitary adrenals, hers is like, so now her adrenals are going, oh my God. And it's not quite out of the clear, but it's, they're feeling a little bit better. This is why I asked her if she wanted to do it. Now, see, she's rubbing it, which is changing it. Now I'm going to go into, we're going to go, now you're going to take and go to the pinky toe, right, go to your right, go to the pinky toe, and you're going to come up until you notice the ankle bone. Now, right in front of the ankle bone is a squishy point. You'll feel it's all squishy, like a hollow. Mm-hmm. You are going to push in and rub. No magnet this time, just rub. Oh, wow. You have been indecisive because there are words that are said and you're like, wait, what? And what happens is the body's trying to figure out how to protect itself. That totally makes sense. Come up to the right hand, get your right hand, come over to where it is the karate chop point, just above where the crick is, and then you're going to push in. Now turn it towards you if you want, but push in and rub. That might be sore.
It's a little sore.
Mm-hmm. Energies are stuck, so just keep rubbing. Now there goes the undulation of her spinal cord. It just finally, Okay, now tell me, do you feel, you said it was 8 or 9. How do you feel right now?
I don't even know.
Better?
I'm not thinking about it.
Right, so is it better?
Yeah, I'd say so.
Okay. When you don't know how you know, then you can't really measure and you can't tell that you've got out of your hell. But that's why we're having you witness, okay? So this is just to help you temporarily because your body keeps going to undulation. So I want you to take left wrist. So just make sure we're doing this. Grab your left wrist, find that first position, okay? And once you place your finger in that first position, then put your thumb there. As you take the thumb and go there. Oops, let's get over here. Watch is in the way. Put your thumb, push in deep, make the letter C, wrap these 3, palm to forehead. And I want you to focus on how he makes you feel. That's all the topic. That's it. And notice that you've gotten to the point that this relationship and the feeling this way, that energy of how you feel is actually your coping tool. Now, what we're going to do is we're not going to remove that coping tool, but we're going to help your body start to release that energy so that you can actually really address what you want, which is my love is unreceived. Now, can you relate to that?
I'm sorry, can you repeat that?
Do you feel that that's your coping tool when you're around him, that you have to feel like this all the time?
I mean, it's not a bad feeling. I don't necessarily feel insecure. I just feel happy.
Okay, no, okay,
Like,
that's not what I meant. Because
okay.
we rubbed your points down and your energy shifted, you are now thinking I feel happy, which is great. This is what we want. But prior to that, you were in the room. You're like, oh my God, sent me money. You come on. Do you remember that state of how you felt?
Yes, yes.
That's what you need to focus on, because that's your coping tool. Okay, so when you guys go into whatever this dance is you guys do, magnetically doing, your body's going, hey, okay, well, when you get into that stage, that's what I want you to do, is that first position deep, because the body is saying, oh, this is how I have to cope, because I had an OMG experience. I don't know what to do about it. So the body has remained into this fight position, this issue. Do you understand?
Yeah.
So when you are, let's say you're good now, because we switched that. We took the magnet unlocked you, so you didn't have to stay there. You're going to continue this. This is the heart point. You're going to continue this. So you're going to go, and let's say you and him are having dinner, blah, 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 and everything's great and giggle wiggles. And all of a sudden you feel this. You're going to learn how to recognize when it happens. And you're going to excuse yourself, or you're going to do it later, whatever you're going to do. But I want you to understand you are waking up and don't have to go to that program. So if you feel this way, any of the stuff that you felt just prior, then you can go in and say, oh my God, that's it. You're going to hear stories. You're going to hear how you're connecting it. You're going to hear it. You can even,
Yeah.
I would tell you to write down a journal of how you see your beliefs. I believe he doesn't, or I believe I have to, I believe that, because these beliefs creates your personality, helps you creates a personal reality. But the problem is that your body's saying you're out of sync with who you are.
Yeah.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So you'll do that later.
Okay.
Okay, does that make sense? Because right now,
Yes.
you need to witness your ego. Don't think that this is full of shit. Did you have anxiety up to 8 and 9?
I did, yeah, absolutely.
And now, if you were to measure how you know it, what is it now?
I mean, it's below a 5 at this point.
Right, and this is where we need to finish it out. Why do you need to even have it at 5?
Yeah.
So let's ask Spirit if you're ready to take it out. And this is why L1D. That's why I said if you wanted to take it out, you could.
Yeah.
So if you were to do that right now, if you want to, I'm not pushing you. So if you want to, I'll give you a couple extra minutes.
Yeah, absolutely.
Then grab your left wrist.
Triggered when I was 14, and it's so true. Like, I've been insecure, like, about my body since I was very young. And
okay, so grab your left wrist, hold that position, just like I said before. Now hold it like this, and I want you to sit there. And how do you know you feel insecure? How do you know that? And I want you to get into that. You said it's a 5. See, she couldn't register. Now she's registered. It's 5. I can feel it. Now just hold it there. Just stare down how you know it, or just stay there. And I will stick with you, because I want you to get this experience so that your spirit can realize it does not have to be the program. Your left adrenal is like going, what? But anyway, Anyway,
It is. I'm like confused.
and confusion is a good thing because it's also creating and it crashes your old world, the life as you knew it, and you can begin to rise and emerge this new world of more confidence or more self-esteem or more calmness. The calmness allows you to say, shut up, program. It's not true.
Yeah, it's like he brings that on me. It's
Right,
he's
right.
making me feel things that I haven't felt in a very long time, and I've wanted to for a very long time.
So this is a good thing. But if and while she's holding this, I want you guys to understand, if you're going to sit there and go, I figured it out, that's great. But if you're going to go, oh my God, oh my God, oh my God, and without a healing tool, you're firing and wiring your brain to create a habit to be that shit show. You want to stop the shit show, you got to interrupt how you fire and wire. So if you're going to think it anyway, grab a tool, stick it to your forehead so the body in you can begin to process together, not separate, because spirit and body should not be separate, and taking spirit out of matter doesn't work. So you and your body need to work together. So placing your hand on your forehead while you think of your shit shows, you're firing and wiring. No, that's getting interrupted. And what happens is the blood's coming back to your forebrain. Your forebrain is what creates reality. And if you start working together, your body's going to start releasing the shit show program. See, now she just came down a little. I'm not sure if she's aware of it. It's not quite a 5, if I asked her to measure.
I'm feeling a little more calm.
But notice it's not a 5.
Stop talking about it.
Right, but notice you can talk about it in your head with the tool.
Yeah.
And the body will let you, again, calm down while you're processing a whole nother way. See, now she's starting to feel like it could be gone, but it's not. It's there. I still see it.
Mm-hmm.
And she just keeps holding that point. And what she now can focus on is the little things he says or little things he does that resonates with me. And then my body wants to go in this insecurity. It's okay. Just keep your hand there. Keep your hand there. Because your body's asking. Your soul is saying, can we heal it now? And every time you didn't have a tool and that came up, can we heal it now? You're like, now, now, now. But now you can go, hold on, let me put my hand on my head. Yes, yes. But don't think happy thoughts. Don't try to talk yourself on it. Be in your shit show. See, her body's going a little deeper now.
Yeah.
She's doing all the work. I'm doing nothing except for communicating, holding the energy space for her. Ooh, she's like, ooh, I feel free. I can feel the next stage she's going to. Again, I'm not in your space. Your shit show is already hanging out. I just can see it and read it. And everybody has a way to decide whether or not you want to communicate with people. Well, there she goes. So if I asked you that 5, first it was an 8, then it came to a 5, what number is it now?
It's probably like a 3.
Mm-hmm. Because one of the things of why she's at a 3 is because how do I get my needs met? And then that was the main question she had when she was even younger, which was about 3 years old. How do I get my needs met? And something wasn't met. And I feel like in a way she's needing something. So their body's saying something that seems to be missing. There was a heartache around age 3, and there was just so much love unreceived at age 3. And it could just be for a split second, or it could be an actual major event.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, there you go. Notice that you had to be inferior. Somebody was superior.
Yeah, my mother.
Okay. You didn't know what to do with that.
No, she put me down my entire life, really.
Now notice that that's the heartache and that love is unreceived. Here, Mom, I made a picture. Yeah. Here, Mom, hey, Mom. See, she knows. So you're going to be doing this over and over. But right now, let's get this calm. And so when the trigger, a new trigger, not the same one, it'll be a different trigger. All of a sudden will pop up. It'll sound the same, but then you are becoming more aware. And then that means that you can grab L1D and go, because she's working through a problem. That's what she's doing. Now I feel like she could have a headache, but she just breathe it through.
Yeah, I'm just breathing now.
Okay, now I'm looking. What number do you think you are?
It's not bothering me anymore.
Good.
Honestly.
Now,
Yeah.
witness, where did it go? You don't want it back, but when it does get triggered, a button pushed, it comes up. You're going to say, hold on, I took care of this once, I can do it again. Now, in this case, I'm going to tell you, write it down, whatever it is. Don't have to have pages, just look for the belief, look for a statement. Notice that it could be a 10, how you know it. Then I want you to grab L and D. And I want you to do the same process that you already were doing. And you stay there until it's gone. Okay?
Okay.
See, she sounds completely different. Her adrenals are not revving up. I feel like we could sit down and now giggle the heck out of everything. Now, what I'm going to do is that because you're going to do this on your own, I want you just to imagine, look at me or whatever, and you put your finger in your forehead and you put your finger in your belly button. You push in, lift up, chin up, smile. And you stay there. And what's happening is the body's going to start to create the energy of an egg. It's also because you're smiling, you'll start creating the chemical peptides that make happy. And then eventually you're going to just say, thank you, Spirit. And you're going to download a giggle, which means you're going to wait for yourself to go, and you'll feel it, because all of a sudden it'll be like you want to giggle, and just stay with it. Or if you feel the calm, she can go and go, I don't feel that. Now she needs to take pictures of how she feels calm. So she has a before and after. She remodeled her house and before and after. So in this case, she's taken, I feel calm. So she's holding this in her mind. She's going to go, I feel calm. How do I know what calm is? And she's going to sit there. Oh, yeah. Bringing that peace and that calm. And her brain's going to start realizing that she can do this every time. Okay? Thank you so much for coming on. I appreciate that. And thank you for the energy exchange. And you keep healing, okay?
Thank you. And just one question.
Yeah.
This feels good. I can move forward.
Is that your question?
Yeah, that was my question.
The more your brain only does the next best guess. So it fills in the blanks. It sees this letter S on the road. Oh my God, snake! Because that's fear. But because you're calming yourself, your brain will go up and go, oh, that's a rope. Okay, It doesn't have to follow the fear. So the more you begin to hold and know what joy and calm and this gives you the ability to step into the arena of the becoming the resolver, or the becoming that you download what you want to manifest for your future, because all of a sudden that energy that was so condensed is now expanded. And because love is much stronger than fear, you will be able to create. And you will notice that, I can't. You find a limitation and arrested development, something that stops you. Say, that needs to be healed. # you can heal that. # I can resolve this and evolve. So resolve to evolve. Okay. And I'm going to heal this instead of deal. And the next time you don't catch it right away, but you're like, oh my God, I'm in doubt. I'm just going to tell you, grab a healing tool like the OMG, place it on your head, and just begin to see how you know it, and then heal it out. Okay, you will be able to have a happier life. Trust me, I do, and I don't regret any moment. I'm so happy that I have evolved, started allowing myself to have joy every day.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome. All right, we'll talk to you later. Bye-bye.
All right. Bye-bye.
You can make a major difference in your life, people. You really, really can. All right, so let's get into, if there's anybody new in the room, let me know. Otherwise, I'm going to start jumping into the 1 minutes. And let me get here. Oh, that's not even it. Let's do this again. Get to the right screen. There we go. There we go. Okay, so the first up is Amanda. Miss Amanda. Ooh, yes. Okay, so physically something's going on in your world. So because your body's going through, the body, if your body is sick, sometimes the body has to change the heat, what's happening in the body, so that it can help you repair. That's the main job. But we can give an assistance and move the energy so that your body can repair even further. So for this case, we're going to say, you want source? Yeah. Okay. So Amanda, go to the right wrist. Put your magnet over to that heart point there. Use your magnet 12 times and then give it a rub 30 times. Your kidney needs to be able to flush. Go over to your right kidney, which is that you're going to go, follow the big toe, go behind the ankle bone. You just need to rub it. Now you're going to need to do several rounds. So 30 times stop, 30 times stop. You're going to need, if you can, drink water. That would make you more electrical. That would be great. And then you're going to have to get to the fact that you have something to paralyze will. So your body said, I had to get sick because I felt very scared, and my cells couldn't grow, so that I had to protect. So now I didn't want to do something. So there's not something you're not willing to do that's interfering. So that means we're going to have to unlock it. Take your big toe. We're going to do both legs. So you're going to find your pinky toe, and then, or is it pinky we want? Yes. And you're going to go right to the middle, and you're going to use a magnet or your hand. Do both feet, not at the same time, and then rub. You can rub them at the same time, or if you're talented enough, you can use a magnet at the same time. But you're going to push it and rub. So you're going to clear that out and lock that out. Once that you left for kidney, we wanted just the right one right now for the kidney. Let me see where else. Now, once that part of the program, I feel like that set is done, we have to go to the second set. And that is, so now you have to do both. Once that, like I said, once that first part's done, now you got to do both. That means you're going to go to the kidney on both sides. And to get to the kidney, you have to follow the big toe. And then I said, do you need no magnet, just having to rub? Now, this is where the kidney needs to flush the virus, the toxins, and whatever's there out. So you just need to rub behind the ankle bone. You're going to do both karate chop points. So this karate chop point here and this karate chop point here, you just need to rub them both. And then at the end of that one, you're going to have to come here. And this is that dip that you have right there. And you're going to have to, and you can do both, may as well. Take the magnet. Okay, so however you want to do it, whatever you're using. We need to make sure this point, though, not down here, but up here, has the magnet. Okay, and then when you're done, you get in there and you rub it. Get 30 times. Okay. Then when you're done, I want you to zip up or hook up. Smile. Get those going, and then let the body rest. Now, if you can get fluid, that's fine. Water, if you can, so that the electrical part of you can make a difference. Okay. Oh, I wonder it wasn't working. It was pushed the wrong way. There you go. Let's look. Who said? Was there a new person in the room? Moderator. Is it Tony or Tony? However they say it. If you're new. Okay. Yes, I need to know whether you're new and if somebody brought you so that you get more rewards, and so does the other person. Okay. I know there's such a delay, but I will look back up in a minute. Amanda says, I have been drinking tons of water, haven't been able to sleep. Okay. Haven't been able to sleep. So I'm going to ask Spirit, because the body is doing its best. With what we did, will that help bring rest? Yes. Now, is there anything else we can help bring rest? Yeah. So like right now, you need to rest. So I says, if we could, after you did all that, and say, hey, can we just get help rest? They said yes. So you're going to come over to, you're going to use, I don't care where you start, but you're going to come under your thumb. And you're just going to push under the pinky. I want you to do under the pinky because that's fine. And I want you to push. Okay. So under the pinky, you're going to rub. Do that both sides 30 times. And you might have to do a couple rounds because the body needs to know it's safe, that it can rest. And then the body's doing what it needs to do. Because and then seeing the reason why you have this going on is simply because the cell could not go into growth. It had to go into protection. So that fear that you can't do something. And I said, if there's a fear you can't do something, they told me to tell you to do L1S because you have to wrangle in first position, nice and soft, that you feel insecure of that. That's why you can't take that step. So we have Seraphim, I'm new. I came here with heart. Okay, so it's a 3 minutes. Excellent. Here we go. Okay, I want to burp at the same time I want to cough. The body is trying to tell me that my body is saying that I'm in fear. Your body's really going, oh my God, I just feel deficient. This is it, so be it. Go into the next thing. My body says, hold on, I don't want to think or feel about something. Tell me why. Because it brings up all of this guilt. And then I go into, this self-pity. So is that true so far? When we look at the word sympathy, there's a part of your body that's talking to me right now that's telling me that I need to make sure you understand something. That's fine, I will. And it says that unhappiness, you're self-absorbed in the unhappiness in your own troubles. So you can't help but getting stuck in your excessive unhappiness. Is that true? Is there any unhappiness that you're aware of that's happening with you? Because they said that energy of that cell keeps coming up and saying that you have to give up. Yeah, it's all okay. Yeah, and it's about, I have to give up. I have to give up my expectations. One of them has to do with career. And they said that energy keeps making me want to go, I have to give up. So I want you to do left wrist, first position, soft. So you take and see this left wrist, see the first position, thumb there, nice and soft, finger in palm, and these three. Palm to forehead, and just sit there. And I want you to measure. Oh my God, I feel insecure. I have to give up. I have to give up. I have to give up. And notice how you have to give up. And they said that's why they want you to help you process it. Now, you will hear, now I feel like you want to do what you want to do, but somebody's telling you that, well, you can't do that because, so they're just like you would self-justify why you want it. And then they would justify why they want you to have it. So are you talking to somebody about the career? It's like you got to get your bodies to, so I would definitely say, L1S to help you get that down. Spirit is telling me about the sympathy thing. And people pull you in. I don't know if it feels like a mother or whatever, but it definitely feels female, vagina. And so it's definitely female energy, something to do with, they make you do something out of sympathy. So I don't know if they say something or if they get you to feel a certain way, but all of a sudden it's a habit because you've been doing this since you were 6 because you hear somebody's plight. Well, let me take care of that. That somehow I feel like you put yourself on the back burner, and that's part of how you were supposed to take and control yourself as you're growing up. But you also don't want to feel like shit. But if you don't really do this out of sympathy, then there's a way that people make you feel like shit. Does that make sense? If there's anybody else in the room, let me know. Now I'm going to go over to Miss Jensen. All right. Hold on. Miss Aim. What I'm seeing is that you have anxiety. Really? There's some part of your brain. There's like a ham herd. All of a sudden there's oh my God. So there's this anxiety. And I asked, okay, so now it says, now it's going to a condition. Now I'm looking in your etheric field of your energy field, and it says that I am so self-conscious. of the fear of judgment. And it says, I feel so wiped out by this. Now, I don't know if you're aware of it in your conscious mind, this moment that you're in right now, but you're like, and it was connected to the depression. Connected to the depression. I said, okay, then what? It says, well, she needs to do R3S because she really wants to stand secure. Remember that mountain, that plane that was going through the mountain? They're saying that now you are learning to rise, which means they want you to stop remaining small. They want you to do L3D. Okay. I will get to you if you hang around. 18 and 3. If you hang around, just hang around. Just give me a minute. Now I'm going to jump over to Nancy, and then I'll get to 18 and 3, okay? Miss Nancy, what I'm hearing is that expect. And they said there's habits of lofty energies. You expect that energy of somebody walking in the room, and they're going to be pushing their weight around. And when they do, I take the blame. Habit. And it has to do with being unworthy. As I'm looking a little bit further, it has to do with the heartache. They said as far as the heartache goes, this feels like it was around 5 years old. And others' energies were always making you feel less than. Well, aren't you just a greedy little person? Oh, my goodness. And you're like, okay. So the body recognizes this pattern, this download that you had. And what happens is that all the efforts you've done that should give you accolades, you absolutely get none. It is like all the efforts are unreceived. And you keep banging your head against the, look, I'm not that person. Stop telling me I'm that person. Okay. So Nancy, we want to make sure you, they just want you to do L1D. Okay. Just kind of do L1D with all that. Hopefully that makes sense. So I'm going to go over here to 18 and 3. 18 and 3. Here you go. Something about feeling abnormal. It angers you. It's kind of an alarm that you just kind of like, I'm just an object. I don't quite fit in. So I just feel so. I used to be under pressure that I had to be something, but I'm burnout. I don't want that. I'm so. I just feel, I don't know. So they telling me that you're stuck here. Do you feel that? Need to know. And they said, if you're aware of that, then notice that I had to stop thinking and feeling process because they're showing me 6 and 16, but they're showing me the fact is that you're just like, where's my stability? Because if I really try to do all this, then it feels like it's unstable. This I know. This is what I know. Does that make sense? Because if you're ready to heal a lot of this out where you feel like you just don't have that next oomph to go where you need to go, 18 and 3, then I will tell you that you can take the next step, and that is grab your left wrist, find that second position, put your thumb in that second position, and push your thumb in deep. Oh, I feel so. That's a 10. Oh my God. And just stay there until it gets to 0. Now, YT, gotta go and find YT. Where's YT? Not seeing it. You're welcome. Go heal. You're worth it. So, YouTube, not a person. She's YT. My moderator said YT. That means she's on Facebook and YouTube. If you're in YouTube and you want to read, I can give you a read. You just have to give me a shout out, okay? So now I'm going to go over to Nita, Miss Nita. Okay, Nita, one of the things I'm hearing is I have to withhold. I'm changing who I am, but I have to withhold. And sometimes there's a hot topic. So there must be a hot topic going on somewhere in the United States because I feel like it's everywhere. And you're noticing that you're withholding back, and maybe you don't want to explode. But they said with that, there's a little bit of feeling sluggish, and you're feeling this deep unrequited love. Why don't people just love? Why don't, so you're going through this. And as I'm looking a little bit further, what I've noticed is that you're not sure how to do and exert your power, to put your power out there. And I'm going to tell you, you're doing really well. You're not losing your shit, putting it out there. You notice that it's okay to do an and respect, to have an opinion. It's just that when people come at you very strong, you feel this bit of energy. You saw it as a kid. And so then your tuning fork starts matching their tuning fork. And they said to help you understand this a little bit further is that you had to shut off and have no empathy. Now you're turning on the empathy and you feel like you have to withhold. Now I want you to heal that withhold. Left wrist, third position, nice and soft. Okay, because you're like, oh, I have to withhold. Now it's helping you, but at the same time, there's a conflict there. So, get with, you've got to heal that out so that we start removing the urges and healing deeper. Okay, so as I look into the room, all righty, I'm going to go over to Miss Nikki. Miss Nikki, oops, there goes my thing. Miss Nikki, they're just taking the word in. Intimidated. You are intimidated. Now, notice that you know how to intimidate people. And you're like, well, I don't want to do that. And I don't want to feel intimidated. So the topic of intimidated. So notice the directions of many different directions about this, because you're ready to start to notice you can self-soothe whatever direction, energy direction it is. It'd be R3S. They said that there's also this overwhelming. Now they'll push a limit to the point where you'll just feel this. It's like you have to. I don't know how to explain it. You come alive like a statue. But what it is there's a mental anguish that starts hanging in the background, and they want you to understand that you are hitting your self-imposed limitation. At the same time, you're want to do overcompensating. So you're fighting yourself at that point, and they want you to do right wrist, first position, nice and deep. Got it? Amy says, hello, I have a message for you from the ancestors. Oh, so you're saying that you want to come in and interrupt my show. Okay. No. Miss Autumn. Let myself what? Have morals. I let myself have morals. And I have them, but then I feel deficient until somebody talks. Oh, I think I know what I mean. So here's the thing. When you start to do this, I felt that way too. I started to heal it out. The spirit says you need to do one step further. Go get the answers. Go find the answers. So I said, thank you, Spirit. And Spirit started to draw to me information how to do this. And it was really nice because I'm like, Spirit would give me information and I would say it. And I'm like, well, how do I know it's true? And then Spirit would give me books or movies or people, teachers, whatever, to give me confirmation that this is true. So then I said, okay, so now I have this confidence in my belt. So I don't have to tell everybody. I just live my confidence and use it when I need to. And so the people that when you're around people, they're saying it really bothers you when they check out. It's like you'll be talking and they just check out. Oh, it's just Autumn. And notice that bothers you. Right wrist, third position, nice and deep. Okay. We're going to go over to Katie. Miss Katie, what I'm seeing is there's a deserted feeling. Frightful. What? Now, this deserted feeling has its own words, and eventually it gets you miffed. Miffed. I said, okay. And they said, well, I have this story that plays in my head. It has a lot to do with guilt, and so I have to play it out. And if I guilt them to this, if I do this and this now, I can't. And they said, in that left brain that you're stuck in and you keep doing this, there's a certain amount of emotional suspicion that if I don't do it this way or this way, I said, okay, what do you want her to do? And they said, well, if she can become to notice where her thoughts are and how she does them, then she can get more out of the fact that I can't be confident. I don't want my heart crushed. but she has to notice the pattern of how she thinks and how I got to fix this. I'm the hero. I got to do this. I got to, oh, what have I done this? I've done this. So they're saying, look at the pattern, the L1D for Katie. All right, Crunchy. Here we go. Miss Crunchy, AIC to be or not to be. That's a joke. Nope, they actually pointed out the words. Made me say it. To be or not to be. They said there's an energy that goes up, and when I go into that high beta, I feel this impending doom. And then I self-soothe it, and then I have this memory, and there's a hidden story, and then I just, don't feel safe. So it's like I keep seeing this pattern. All right, so what we're going to do is we're going to have you understand that there's a part of you that says, I can't use my will, in a form of I'm paralyzed, I can't do something, or I won't do something. You'll do everything you can do. You may not be aware you're doing it, but there is this timid feeling and a longing that are mixing together, and you go, well, I can't do it because of this. So then the self-justification comes in. They said, pay attention to the self-justification, because you're going to hear your excuses and the reasonings that stop you from achieving what you need to do. And so you're going to find out you're holding your own self back. They want you to do is L3S. Okay, L3S. And that was for Crunchy. Now we're going to go over to, wait, Autumn, did I just give you a read? I think I did. All right. If I haven't, let me know. But anyways, she said, yep. So I must have. April Lynn, Miss April Lynn. What to do? What to do? What to do? What to do? My self-preservation kicks in. What do I do? I can't help it. I can hear the sound greetings. Dot, 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 dot. All right. So what we do is we want to say sister cell, and then that means the cells that have divided, and he says it has to be this way. It's about relationships. So the second chakra, the second level, is relationships. We need to heal this. And they said there's a certain amount of frustration. And they said if you can catch just the frustration minus words, but notice the body. The body says, I'm frustrated. I'm frustrated. Don't go into the words in your head. Go inside the body and notice, are you frustrated? Are you stressed? And it'll say yes. So it wants you to do R3S. Okay. And then it says once you start to hear that, just allow the body to show it is trying to say, I have to protect myself. So I severed my love. Now, this is where you got to notice where you severed the love. You're like, no. And then they said they want you to go L1D. Okay. Linda Love. Ooh. Now we went right into digestive issues all of a sudden. Oh, what's that about? What? All right. So I hear a stupid polka song. I'm not saying it's a stupid polka song. They're just saying this song. And this is something that's, you know how when certain rhythms get to you? You can have her, she's too fat for me. Okay. There's a song. Now, the reason why and it feels annoying. So I feel like there's something that the body's doing, or somebody said something that's not true, but you can't get it out of your head. That's why I refer to it as a stupid polka song, because it's like, like the chicken dance. Can't get it out of your head. So did somebody say something, Linda? Because you're like, but I don't want to be with or that, and I don't know where my joy went. And then there's a program. There's these thoughts somewhere along the way. You've been heard this or whatever, and you believed it to be true. Once you start to notice that it's not true, and you're like, that's it. Then I want you to take left wrist, third position, nice and deep. Okay. Really get into, hear it. Because immediately, that's the other thing about songs. Oh, yeah, I don't want her. You can have her. She's too fat for me. What kind of statement's that? And where all the women are out there going, he doesn't love me because I'm too fat for her and him. And it's this, we recognize it, or and then the camera spans and shows a fat chick, and, we're supposed to be just accept it. No, you don't accept it. You don't have to believe it's you. And it doesn't matter if you have weight. Good God, you're beautiful and loving. There's a person in there. There's a soul in there. This is just an avatar. But how you measure yourself based on somebody else's opinion, no. Don't measure yourself. But he was the love of my life. No. Now, this is more than just Linda's readings. I can hear other people talking about it too. Your worth is not about them. Your happiness isn't that they have to supply it. We look for, when we're little, praise or judgment to find out whether we're doing it right, which way we're going. No, that's wrong. That's right. No. And these are old patterns that aren't really true anymore. So we have to decide, as we now are at a different age, some of those things that we thought were true, are they? Just because this man didn't want this woman, does every woman have to now be bashing themselves? He didn't want her, so maybe that's why I'm not loved. Don't be taken in borrowing belief systems. Start to heal here, start to grow here, start to love here. And when you understand that the soul's returning to love, when it can love itself, love's the answer. And she knows this. Other people don't. And that's why we need to share it. Okay. So, Linda, they're telling me if there's anything that you feel like love is interference of any way, just start doing L1S for yourself, because I feel like you are on that one little plane of existence that you're not paying attention to this. And so L1S will help you a great deal. It's correct. They don't have to believe what others think about you, because it's, well, one, again, don't borrow. Don't borrow. We're going to go to Lena. Miss Lena. What I'm hearing, Miss Lena, is that there's something to do with fighting. It sounds like all my life, it's all I ever heard was fighting. And I keep thinking about it. And it's the way we think about how we fight. It's a think about what we fought about. And what happens is the timing always seems to be there. And so I just keep withholding myself because I don't want to be hurt anymore. Now, Lena, I feel like your body is telling you that you're kinesthetic or sensitive. And here's the thing. As that energy, people come into the room, they vibrate and you can't help but to match. And it just is really getting to you. And I want you to notice that when they start doing their shit show, they want me to have you do R3S, Lena, because they want you to sit there and go, oh my God, I know that frequency. I don't have to be entrained to it. I can resonate. I can understand it. But I don't have to entrain myself to be it. So your tuning fork going off because theirs is going off. You can hold R3S and go, oh my God, oh my God, oh my God. And your tuning fork will calm down and not play because the code on your tuning fork will change. Know that, Lisa. Hi. Would you like a reading? If you're new, you get 2. And if you're brought, you get 3. So let me know if I've never read you before, because I don't think I have. We will go from there. So I will look up in just a second to see if your response. Now I'm just going to go to Teresa P. Miss Teresa P. I see unrequited in the now. So there's something that's not communicating correctly. So Teresa, in order to help get the communication, you're going to have to remove the grief in order for the communication. So that tells me, like, if you're doing reading dogs or you're helping to hear people from the other side, then you're going to have to hold L2D, because there's a temptation for wanting to go into grief, because that was your story. You have to wake up to notice that was my story. Now, if you are really grieving and overcompensating and all of this, do R1D. But if you are like, but I don't really need to do grief, then you do L2D, because then you're hiding behind that mask. How do you know you're doing it or not doing it? Let's say you walk in, let's say I put my hand down, ow, and I'm really losing my shit because I hit my hand. But if I really were to look at, I just put my arm down, do I really need to respond so heavily into it? It was really, if I look, there's no pain. I just put my hand down. But I made it so dramatic. And it's not that you're a drama queen. It is the programs. We don't realize it. Do you understand? We don't realize it. So they're saying, catch yourself. Do you need to be grief? Because that used to be your wound. That used to be your woundology. That used to be your talk. Do you need it to be? And they said no. So you're going to have to catch yourself. Okay. So if you have putting on the mask, little L2D, well, things get better for me. Okay. The question is and you get 2 minutes. And in the room, we say, Lisa, know that Lisa, will things get better for you is because you know that in this state, you don't feel good. You don't feel like it's going to. But you have had a success race where you've always had a turnaround time. It's the strategy. It's like a shit show. And all of a sudden, things get better for you. So there is almost a guarantee it will. But you haven't heard the program. Now, I said, what's making you think that things aren't good? They said there's a certain amount of deep sorrow and a certain amount of feeling irrelevant. And just so you understand, negative emotions, and they're telling me there's a pain going on here, negative emotions will take and drop you like a little blood balloon. Yes, has ups and downs. Okay, so notice again that you're looking for your in a strategy, you're looking for that next part. So when people are depressed, they have to go into anger to get out, or there is a strategy. So it's like, I'm waiting for that strategy so I can get out. And I said, well, what can we do in the meantime? And they said, well, I have this sluggish memory that keeps affecting me. And this is why I keep going down this road. And I want to avoid it. I really don't want it. And I said, what's that? The fear of being what? The fear of being controlled. And sometimes I get so damn jealous because people aren't controlled. And yet I'm thinking to myself, why am I so freaking heavily influenced? Does that make any sense? And if so, did I turn the timer on? If I just went over, did I let it ring and I forgot? Anyways, you don't want to be an object anymore. So really take those words. I don't want to be an object. I don't want this. When you begin to see what I just said, now, if you want to hear this repeat, you can go to Facebook or you can go to YouTube and watch this. And so what you're going to do is notice the strategy, kind of wake up to yourself. But when you feel this shitty ass position you're feeling right now, I want you to R3S it. Right wrist, third position. Hold your thumb soft, finger in the palm. And then you're going to take this palm and you're going to place it on your forehead. Let the fingers drop. And you're going to sit there and go, oh my God, this feeling I have that I can't get out. Measure that on a scale from 0 to 10. Keep your hand there. Let the body do the healing as you're doing that. It's that thinking and that feeling and that being, and it'll start to create a disrupt in your belief system. It'll start to create a disrupt. Okay. So she's giving you a timestamp, Lisa. So if you want to hear this again, understand how to do the tools, you can go to Facebook and look, because it'll be a timestamp when I put it up. Or if you can know to go out about 2 hours and 42 minutes in, you can go over to YouTube and look for it there. Okay, and just find it's Medicine Woman Solution. Remember, solution is SOULTION. Just switch the letters from solution to solution. You're welcome. Now I'm going to go over to Alicia. Now, let me just see here. Okay, so it's just a normal C. Okay. Alicia, what I'm hearing is love. Love, love. And I don't want to sing because I don't want to be accused of having to shut down my show because I sang. But I hear it can be, the Beatles or whatever. Something about indecisive alarms. So you're interrupting your alarm. You're interrupting the indecisive. And you're like, catch it. If you feel a little alarm, notice if you're indecisive. If that's the case, then you're going to go to L1S, because you are interrupting all the efforts you're doing. And so the efforts are unreceived on your part because the contrast of what's going on in your body. To go a little further, I want you to hold L1D, because you're like, I don't want my heart crushed. It still runs as an old background. And what happens is it causes you to stop love one way or the other. Very good. Very good. We're going to go to the next person. And I see the next person is Miss Amber. All right, Miss Amber, I'm seeing absent-minded people. When absent-minded people, then I become an object because I have to do more work and I don't want to. Why can't they just freaking be present? You go in and they like leave the lids off the jar. All of this shit happens. And what does it do to you is that you begin to interpret with an alarm. Your body goes off and it's just longing. Oh my God, can't you pick up your own shit? The trash can's right there. Put the trash in there. The laundry's right there. Put it right there. What the hell? What the hell? And the body is like, I have no empathy left. I have nothing left. And so it's kind of pulling you away. And so we want to help you L3D, left wrist, third position, nice and deep. Okay, Amber? Because you're like, and you don't want to have to reduce yourself down to a piece of shit in order for somebody to actually hear you. It's literally saying we can avoid you having to go all the way to that shit show. Let's back this up, okay? We're going to go to Krista with a K. Krista with a K, I'm seeing trips. Trips? Tripping. I see tripping. As in fall? That's what I thought. Okay. So they said, I'm going. Where are you going? It says, have behaviors and they're monotonous. And I'm looking for, I feel like I lost something. Okay. Your program. What's happening is when you were little, you've been programmed that this is how you're supposed to be. And your cells have said, because of this, that is why you are having the issue you're having right now inside of your life. The body is going, oh my gosh, there's just this phobia. What if I'm not? What if what ifs? And I said, well, how can we disrupt it? And they said, well, she just really believes that she's not allowed to be confident because somebody's going to tell her she's wrong. Or she'll do something and the child will make her feel like shit. Oh, I don't want to hurt him. Oh, God, there we go. Oh. But let's change to here so that he can behave a little bit more. Left wrist, first position, deep. I can't be confident. Okay. Miss Patty. All right, Miss Patty. Numb. Okay. Shutting down. All right. A little sour. All right. I don't know what to do. Who am I without it? Oh, so you're in a contemplation stage. Oh, gotcha. So the contemplation, they're saying, oh, how do I exert who I am? I just have all this, the energy just make me want to exert myself. And I just, and at the same time, I'm like, oh, what do you want her to do? They said they want you to hold L2D because what you've ever seen was that you couldn't fight back, and now you know how to fight back, and now it's not working. And oh my God. I just feel over. I'm over it. All right. L2D, hon. L2D. You're starting to break up from that old pattern, which is good. And that's where we want to get you, is into the right habitual pattern, a new habit, a new good one. So you've got to let go of the old one. L2D. All right. So I'm going to look to the room, double check anybody else. If you want your 1 minute and I haven't given you one and you didn't make it to the list, or if you're new in the room, just talk to me. We will go ahead and give you a reading. Thank you for sharing it out. Thank you for communicating with others. This helps other people to wake up and to move into the direction that can be happy, healthier. And so you can have safety, security, stability, sanity, serenity, and space, which is your freedom. And when you start to really heal, you will begin to feel a freedom from these chemical peptides that drive you crazy. Hi, Charlene. How are you? Would you like a reading, my dear? Need a clear throat for some reason. Okay. I'm going to refresh this, make sure that I haven't missed anybody. There's a lot to learn. When you start to heal and notice the repetitive patterns, it can be down into the cell. And then when the cell says, OMG, I've divided and I've had this new way of being, You know, how am I gonna take care of it? Well, on a physical level, your body is saying that there's a part of you that's done with a lot of things. You're like, oh my God, I can't do this. The neuropeptides, they have to be taken care of, because if you don't take care of that neuropeptide shit show, you are going to have a particular issue that's going to keep repeating itself. All right, gensational. So I heard 1 minute. So Charlene first, and then we'll go over to Jen. Okay. So again, we can heal in many different levels. Charlene. They're saying emotion and motive. What is my motive? And is it being pushed by my emotion? Because I felt like when I was growing up, I'm supposed to be this martyr, and, because I figured out, well, I have to give up the TV show, but I can figure out how to watch it somewhere else because I know they can't. Okay, fine. I'll go get the ice cream because y'all too freaking lazy, blah, 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 whatever. There's a certain story going on. And it is the telling yourself that you have to behave a certain way that causes you to start building false realities, saying, I have to put myself into certain positions. I have to do this and this and that. And you're like, but your soul is saying, why do I need to do that? Because I saw my family do it. Oh, since you're up, go get the coffee. Okay, fine. Since I'm up, I'll go get the coffee. Hey, if you're going to go in the other room, again, when you were little, I feel like you're programmed. So now you're just kind of continuing. You think you have to do it as an adult. So Charlene, if you're ready, notice that you can say, I'm done being a martyr. So what does it mean in the modern day martyr? And you want to change this. You want to heal this out. And when you start noticing that you give up so other people can have. And then they're saying, oh, you're just being a martyr. You're just what, or they're using it as a weapon. I want you to just take your left wrist and then third position. And then place your thumb in here, nice and soft, nice soft thumb. And just sit there and just kind of hear. Just somebody cues you this, that, then go heal, okay? Yeah, I love the program. Wonderful, Jen. Thank you. Okay, so Charlene, go heal. Now, Jen, here we go. Fighting. Inappropriate feelings, inappropriate things that get crushing, inappropriate, seems to get worse. So I feel like when you're out of sync and people are trying to jam themselves back together, there's no time healing. And so then it creates more issues than it's worth. And something just has problems. Something just has problems. And I'm like, what do you mean? They go, well, the timing always seems to be off, or I can't do something, or I'm just checked out, or this fear. So does this make sense to you, Jen? Because what they're saying is there's a part of you that says, after a while, I just lack emotions when it comes to these particular programs. They're telling me when you were 22, something occurred that it caused you to feel like you're incompatible, but you had to stay. You had to stay. Now, this is a very old program. You have to stay. There's no way to communicate. I don't know how we fight. Oh, this and that. And it's like you had to put up with because there was no other options. Does that make sense? Well, anyways, if you recognize this, notice the feeling of the emotions and that energy and motion. There's a motive behind those emotions. And they said, if you can get a handle on that, that's right wrist, third position, nice and deep. Yes, makes sense. Go heal, Jen. You're worth it. Get yourself out of it. Thank you for the FYPs and the hashtags of Medicine Woman Solution. And ha, ha, ha. Healing heart and soul for you. Ha, ha, ha. So now we're going to, hi, how are you? Did you want a reading? And if so, Jean, let me know and I'll give you a reading. We'll get you that. Whew. Oh, well, I feel like I almost said, so this must be a form of a hot flash for somebody. Because I was just like, is this mine? No. Is it too hot in my room? No. So I'm feeling my body going, whew. So someone's hormones are off just enough, whether it is menopause or something. You're welcome, Charlene. Okay, so Jean, here we go. The word grudges popped up. It said auto response. Pops up. And it's part of just, hey, I'm indifferent. You, them? They're showing me that this is something in the environment. So it's something in the environment. And something that's happening in the environment, it all of a sudden causes you to kind of be wishy-washy. So however and whoever is a certain way, you're just like, you become wishy-washy. They said, and what happens is that your body's saying, I don't know what to do. And your mind is telling you something else. And so it just, oh, I remember this. I've seen this before. So everything's a little out of sync. They said that you're like, well, I don't want to diminish my moral character. But yet, are you aware that it's happening? So you just kind of remain wishy-washy so that it's a safe zone. I says, well, we've got to get her out of that. How can we get her so she's in safety? They said she needs to know that she doesn't have to be a fear of being controlled. L2S for Miss Jean. Miss Jean Ann. Again, if you want to hear these again, so that especially because of the healing tools, you can go to YouTube or Facebook. Look for Medicine Woman Solution. That's a soul, Soultion. And we'll go on that point. We have Sarah. Sarah, have I read you before, babe? Because I need to know how many minutes to give you. Remember, if you're done suffering, if you're done being tired, you're done. There's a tribal that I have. It's called MWS Tribal, and the tribal unit. And what we do is that once a week we get together, I teach you, and I also help you heal. And you come in, we do group healings, we can grow. And the thing is that it helps you get out of your shit shows. Oh, okay, Sarah, here we go. Miss Sarah. A. You're pointing to the letter A. Just the A. A, sour. B, thinking. C, alarm. So we have these three particular words, and they make up this feeling of instability on the thinking scale. The longing and the muddled is an emotional component of feeling. Okay, so when you have an emotion or you have emotion and a thought come together, they created a baby called feeling. And they said, when you get to that stage, you're thinking, what about me? Because your body's trying to tell you that you're giving too much of yourself away. You're giving too much of yourself away. And when you say, what about me? You come across as lofty because they're always expecting you to give. And then you don't like, oh, I don't like this about myself. So they're telling me that you back down and you don't want them to leave. So okay. Anyways, R1S or R1. Yeah. Right wrist, first position, soft, nice and soft. Sit there and go, oh, yeah. Think about what I said. They're all details, but they're all connected. Jean says, I know what you're talking about. Good. Know how you know it yourself and go heal it. You can do this. Yes, you have. Okay. Anybody else there? You're welcome. You're welcome. I probably should see if I actually have a client today. That would be knowing, because if I don't, how do I get to my page to find my page? Love reading. You want a love reading, Sarah? And have I ever read you before? Your last name is Sarah Hart, HT Hart, Sarah Hart. If I have not read you before, then it tells me that I can give you more than a minute to read. So let me know. No, excellent. Okay, so Sarah Thomas, hey, how you doing? Now, 2 minutes is what you get because you're new. And what I'm seeing is that there's a certain amount of forlorn energy. Look up the word forlorn. This forlorn energy, is it coming from you? Yes. They're trying to tell me that there is you. You what? You. As you expand you, the addiction to the energy of disgusted, I'm disgusted with myself, causes you to, you got to hear the language you use to yourself, because it becomes this old identity of fear. And when that does, you end up shaming yourself, which then causes you to yearn for a life. And yet you stay in this irrational process. And that's where all of a sudden Spirit says, oh, we got to get her out of this. So again, we look at the word forlorn, because when you understand the energy, then you're going to understand the exact feeling. And the feeling is the sensation they want you to address, which is pitifully sad and abandoned or lonely. And they want you to understand that it interferes with you receiving love, because you're over here vibrating in this state. We want to get you out of that state, because then you can bring in love, because you have the ability to receive love. So you'll grab your left wrist, first position. You're going to push in deep, and then you're going to make the letter C, wrap these three around, touch your head, and sit there and talk about in how you know forlorn. Now, have you ever felt, if you're like, well, I don't feel that right now. Have you ever felt pitifully sad and abandoned? Understand it's going to interfere with your love. Now, if you were not going to heal it, they're telling you that you need to release your ex, because there's a story that keeps repeating. So again, hold that point. You need to get it out of your system. Please measure it and hold that point. Oh, it's a 10. And then you stay there until it gets down to 0. Yeah, I'm just about done. You need me? You need me? Let me know. Not until later. Oh, whoops. I have a request. Somebody else has got a request. Hold on. That's why I was supposed to look. No, I took care of that one, and I already said yes. Sarah Hart says, yes, I have low self-confidence because delay in career, wanting to be in career by now. Okay, heal that out so that you can move for career and love, so that you don't have to waste your time. Yes, you can have it private. Yes, you can. Just about done. Yep. All right. I already gave you your read, but sure. Okay. Here we go. Miss Healing Heart. So what I'm looking at is an abandoned issue. Oh, you want a private one? Okay, yes. Okay, so let me take care of that. Let's take care of that. And no, I got it. All right, so I just, oh, we're so funny. All right, I feel like we're good. Let me just double check into the room, make sure nobody's paid. That's good. Run over here and make sure that that's good. And it doesn't look like I missed anybody. Okay. All right, you guys, you're great. You're wonderful. I appreciate everything. Just remember, you have hashtags. You know what they are by now. What are they? Hashtag feel it, or not that one. Yeah, well, it is, but hashtag resolve to evolve. Hashtag heal instead of deal. Hashtag you can heal it. I can heal that. Hashtag you need to feel it to heal it. And hashtag place your hand on your forehead, and when in doubt, heal it out. You can do this. You really can. So I'm going to say goodbye to YouTube. All right, here we go. I don't know what just happened to my screen. I have no idea just what happened.